All right. Broadcast is started. Hello, everybody.
Got a link?
I got a link. I'll link you. Copy the link. And let me... One more thing, and then we can really get started here.
I like your pop filter, Suze.
Thank you. I paid like.
There is the
way too much.
linkage.
There it is. Do you have comment enabled? Does someone need to watch that?
Some, I believe they are enabled, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. We're playing a game. I mean, we're not answering questions.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, if somebody wants to watch it and answer questions, if people say something, by all means, feel free to answer away. If I would like if somebody has like a side screen, if they want to just make sure that if they want to post that and what have you to the Twitter and the Facebook and whatever. If you want to take a few, like if you want to watch that, or at least turn the volume down or whatever, just to make sure that it's working, that'd be awesome. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have a monitor.
You don't have a monitor?
A secondary monitor.
It's a holographic display in front of her. You didn't know that?
No.
What you don't know is that Suze is actually a holographic display herself.
Well, that's just it. I have never met
Mind blown.
Suze. For all I know, she's just a program. So.
That
Yeah.
explains how stiff I am when I do videos when I'm on screen.
Stiff. Okay.
The link works and we're broadcasting live.
What?
The link is
It's
working.
working? Awesome.
It's all
All
broadcasting.
right. So if you if somebody's out there watching this, which I doubt since we haven't shared the link.
Yeah, Barry
this
Reynolds is in there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Barry's a nice guy. Hey, Barry, how's it going, buddy? This is the first ever session of BoomQuest, a Pathfinder adventure and I have everybody here. There probably won't be a lot of preamble in the future, because hopefully people will watch these and what have you, but we are going to be playing Pathfinder today, and we'll be playing the game, the adventure, the mega adventure called The Lost City of Barakus. I got my screen in the white. But The Lost City of Barakus from Frog God Games. It's an adventure that I've run several times prior to this. I'm pretty familiar with it. And we have an intrepid band of adventurers. So since I know you guys have been discussing your characters with each other a lot over the last, well, about 3 weeks, we've been planning this. So, but still, just so we can visualize what we have here. Nice snuggie.
I'm just getting a character, Lance.
Yes, I understand. I'm going to call on you, and I want you to describe your character. You don't have to go into super detail, or you can if you want. Basically, the big things are your race, your class, and like what weapons do you have? Do you have like a holy symbol that you're carrying? Do you have any noticeable equipment that makes you stand out? Do you have a posture that makes you? I mean, what makes your character you? And so we're gonna start off with Marty, and yeah, take it away, buddy. Describe your character.
All right.
Or describe you. This is you.
Describe me. So, I'm a wee little man. I'm a dwarf. I'm a dwarf bard whose name is Ingve Hammersong. Now, I am a half-brother of another character in this adventure, Dolgar, which you'll hear from him in a little bit. And I grew up, even though I became somewhat proficient in the rapier, what my love was for music, and especially more of the lute. And so from a very young age, I picked up the instrument and got really into it, and come to find out that other people seem to appreciate my music. So much to the fact that when I played... Is that me?
No, that's a goblin.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
So much that when I played that it lifted people's spirits, or either I could do some of the heavy stuff and just totally kind of freak people out. So I found that with my music I was able to help out parties, especially when they go out on quests. So many times I am now asked to go out with people and help them in their adventures, even though I can still pull out the rapier and do a pretty decent job. And also, some people say that I have some pretty quick wit with some, and I'm a pretty funny guy, and sometimes I can use that to my advantage in certain situations too.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to move on, and we have Suze here. And Suze, who are you?
I'm Grodd.
And Grodd. if someone were to look at Grodd, what would they see with Grodd?
Grodd is a strong orc. And Grodd is carrying a good, strong axe. And Grodd likes his axe. And Grodd likes fire. And Grodd likes minks.
And okay, that's a good segue, because Rhiannon, you are playing Minx.
I am, and I am Minx, and I am a gnome barbarian. I also carry an axe because of my good friend Grodd here, who I've known for, just ages. I tell you, Grodd here, he's a big dude. He's like 6'2" or something, and I'm just 3 feet 3 inches off the ground. And I've always been kind of intrigued. We've worked up a friendship, and now we're best of pals. And in homage to that friendship, I carry around a great axe. But, it's small size, because I'm small size. But I also have star knives in case I'm feeling stabby, because I'm little.
Very nice. Anthony, what do you got for us?
I am Sargon. I am a ranger. My parents were killed by lycanthropes when I was a small child. I was only saved because I was hiding in a bale of wolfsbane. My father didn't want to make these swords that got him killed, so after they were killed and the whole town was destroyed, I went to live in the woods, away from people, not trusting anyone, not trusting authority. I'd go from town to town and happen to bond this group of souls, all of them a little different, sort of outcast a little bit in their small town, and I befriended them.
Very good. And Robin, you are across the ocean from us, but who are you today?
I am Derek Steenmeyer, and I'm playing a human druid, or I am a human druid. And I come from my mother's family they were all druids, and my father's family, they were from a line of stonemasons and miners. And in fact, if you trace the heritage far enough back, you'll see some dwarf blood in there. My father was the monument maker in the village of Fairhill. Monument maker is the guy who makes the gravestones. But I'm fairly young and naive, I guess, because at the age of, at coming of age, I was taken away by the druids and put on the rock island where the druid clan exists, and I was taught about the ways of the druid. I can summon small creatures at the moment, I think, and you may see some kind of elemental things coming in, hopefully later.
Very good. Dan, you are the half-brother of Yngvi.
Yep. Dolgar Skullbrand is a half-brother to Yngvi. Not much is
Yngve.
known about Yngve. I'm sorry, Yngve. Not much is known about the truth of the backstory, but there's a lot of rumors that float around town because Dolgar lives with his aunt and uncle in town. His uncle Grundar is one of the best saddle makers in all of what's the name of our town?
Fairhill.
One of the best saddle makers in all of Fairhill and all the lands around here. So he lives here with his uncle and his aunt, and sometimes since again, not much is known about the whole history, so it is not known why his mother had to give up the son to his aunt and uncle to live here. But he's a fighter. His father actually lives on the outskirts of town, and he often will go to spend time with his father, training in fighter arts to train with, as a nice theme that we have, the battle axe. As it seems like all our people in this nice merry band like to use the battle axe. His uncle is actually an old, longtime friend of Derek's parents. Is that right, Robin?
Yeah, the father who worked as the.
So his uncle is a good friend with Derek's father, and that's how we that's how Dolgar got caught up in all this little mischief that we're going to be getting into in a bit. So Dolgar likes, in his hobby, in his spare time, he loves to draw. He's become really good at drawing. He's got a nice little sketchbook that he likes to carry around with him. And anytime he sees fit, he'll just sit down. He's unusually calm, so he'll sit down and just sketch. When things seem to be going haywire, he's still a very calm chap for a dwarf. He does not drink like most dwarfs because his uncle is actually one of the town bouncers at the bar, so he's always kind of been helping out his uncle over there, and he hasn't really liked the drinking arts. Doesn't like to drink too much. However, his brother Ingvi has been known to put him back. He won't tell you that, but he is known as a dwarf to turn him back. But Dolgar sits in a corner and drinks his milk and enjoys drawing a little picture or two while everything else is going on. Cheers.
Very good. Very nice. And of course, every group needs the little halfling thief. So
What?
Keith,
I am not a thief, sir. My name is Tam Glimmereye. I'm a halfling. I am a procurement specialist. I grew up. Things weren't always easy. I tended to find myself in situations where I ended up with things that didn't necessarily belong to me, like this. And I carry a rapier because I find that elegant weapons are more fun for someone that's quick of nature like myself. But I found I had a real talent for getting a hold of things, and unfortunately, sometimes I tend to just take things just because they're pretty, and I don't think about who they really belong to. That's kind of got me in trouble, but I found that I have another talent for talking my way out of these things. So, I specialize just in helping the party acquire things that they want.
very good. All right. Well, as you know, and I told you before, you for different reasons. I mean, just wanderlust, or wanting to see more of the world, or just the idea of some quick coin. You were in the town of your village of Fairhill, a fairly small village, so to speak, but you were approached by a traveling merchant by the name of Merrick Andoulet. And Merrick, when he got to your village, he realized that he has 3 wagons, and they are full of barrels of fresh fish. And he realized when he got there that whoever was in charge of salting the fish did not do it correctly, or may have actually cheated him what they had done. But it's too late now, and he realized that he had to hurry to get to the town of Endholm. Now, you all know of Endholm as being the largest city in the area. It's a kind of a neutral city-state. It does not proclaim its allegiance to any noble or king. It is very affluent. It's on the edge of the Sinar Ocean, and there is the Galen River bisects it, and it's very well known for being a port city where people can sell things, and has a very bustling merchant trade. And what everybody normally does when they want to get there is they take the King's Road, which is a very well-traveled road. It has guards, it has soldiers, it has guard towers along the way, and it's very, very protected and very safe. And there's also traveling inns and what have you. But he knew that if he took that way, he would not be able to get to Endholm in time, and his fish would spoil. So he is going to take the more treacherous road, known as the Fool's Pass, which will travel through the Duskmoon Hills, which are well reputed to be wild and full of nasty creatures, and also roving bands of bandits. And he was looking for bodyguards. That he has a couple of guards himself, but he knew that just the 2 guards and him probably wouldn't be enough to scare anybody off, and so he needed some people that looked like they could take care of themselves and could handle the handle side of a weapon, not the pointy side. And so he approached you all one day, and he offered you each 50 gold pieces if you were to travel with him to Endholm. And he said that if they could get there safely, he would very obviously pay you the gold pieces when they got there, but also he said that he has a lot of connections within the city of Endhome that could be very well worth your while as far as being able to cash in a favor or two. And so seeing is your chance to see the world and make some money and maybe get out of that one-horse town that you lived in. You jumped at the chance, and you are now traveling with Merrick and Dulé. If I had to describe Merrick to you, he is about 5.5 feet tall, a little small for a human. He has dark hair that is just starting to go gray at the temples. He keeps a very closely trimmed goatee that is also going salt and pepper as well. But for the most part, he looks, he wears fine clothing. He has several rings and is bedecked with finery, and so you definitely see him as somebody that does pretty well for himself, and he seems like a pretty honest fellow as well. None of you got any kind of feeling that he was trying to pull one over on you. The two guards that he's with are fairly nondescript. A couple of gentlemen, they're wearing chainmail and have short swords and shields. They're a bit older than you. It looks like they're just people that you probably made their career in the army, within the king's army for a while. Now, the only thing they know how to be is handling weapons and being a protector of sorts, like you're doing. So you left the town of Fairhill, and you made it to the Fool's Pass. You spent the first few days traveling in before you got to the Duskmoon Hills, and the hills are obviously they're at the base of what are called the Stoneheart Mountains, but you're many miles away, and everybody knows that the Stoneheart Mountains are way far in the wilds, and nobody in their right mind would travel there. That deep past the Stoneheart Mountains, there's many rumors and ideas of giant cities full of demons and horrible creatures and dragons living among them, but you're nowhere near that, so you feel fairly safe. But you do know that people have said that the Duskmoon Hills, like I said, is very, very easy to hide out, and so if you're on the run, and bandits do live there, and also there's always the rumors of tribes of ogres or gnolls or orcs, and even maybe perhaps a dragon somewhere deep within the hills. But thankfully nobody's seen a dragon in years, so you're fairly certain that you don't have to worry about that. But the threat of a few people that want to take your money and bandits is a very real threat, and so you are on guard. Is there anything anybody wants to do while you travel before we move forward?
I'd like to ask Merrick. Hey, Merrick, I've heard of a great artist at the city we're heading to. I'm not sure if you've known her. There's a Lorena. I believe she's a big painter. Have you had any encounters with her before?
Merrick strokes his chin a bit, and he's like, I haven't heard of Lorena, but if you say she's as famous as she is, you say she's a painter. I mean, does she do portraits? Does she do landscapes? I mean, what does she paint?
I've heard she's one of the best portrait artists in all of the land. I'd love to talk to her, pick her brain a little bit to see if I could learn a thing or two from her.
Well, then, if that's the case, and she does live within the city of Endhome, I would strongly suggest that you head to the Black Sheep Inn. It's kind of an upper scale inn within the city, and most of the well-to-do merchants and nobles do drink there because of its massive wine cellar, and the fact that it is, that's if you have money, like me, he said. That's where we go to relax and drink the night away.
Wait a minute, did you say there was wine there?
Yes, it has one of the largest and most affluent wine cellars in the land.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going. So, by the way, how much are we getting paid for this, Merrick? You never did tell us,
50 gold pieces, I believe I told you, to each of you.
Oh, each?
Hey.
Each.
That's it?
That's it.
To take the fool's pass?
Oh, Ingve, you know what? You just relax. You know, it'll be okay. In fact, I'll buy the first round for the group once we get to the Black Sheet Inn.
I'm
Done.
liking you, Dolgar. I'm liking you.
Can we get half up front?
No. You need to get me to my location safely. I realize 25 gold to somebody like you is probably enough to most likely leave me in the lurch, if you will. I will keep the gold on my person until we reach the.
America, how long has it been since you came to our town to enlist our help? How long has it been since you journeyed from over here?
Just as an aside, in DM to player, are you asking like how long he's like the last time he had been to Fairhill? Or how
No, I
long
was
it's
wondering
been
just
since
how long was it? Has he been in Fairhill for a while? Like, I want to know if he's encountered anything on his way over here. If he knows what we're to expect.
He came from a town. Well, he was. I came from a town known as Ramay, and
Okay.
and you know Ramay as being it is far to the west, and it is also it's by a couple of large rivers, and it's well known. Actually, you know what he has is well known for its trout, and he has a ship. He has and it's considered to be very delectable fish from that area, and so he came from Ramay. And he headed east, and he went. And when he was in Fairhill, he discovered the issue. And so then you've left Fairhill, and now it's like I said, it's a couple of days, and you're just starting to get into the Duskmoon Hills.
And
So, go ahead.
can we tell? And how long have you known your companions here, your bodyguards? Did you just hire them here in Fairhill, or have you known them for a while?
No. This is Gert and this is Buster, and they have been with me for years. They are the guards of my shop in Ramay, and you know I've known them. They've been in my employ for well over 4 years. Is it Gert? 5. Yeah, 5 years they've been in my employ. So, but
Well met. Well
yes.
met.
Yeah, well, you know, they don't really say anything. They just kind of nod, and Buster spits on the ground. You know, just very very hardened, salty individuals. And so you travel on, and you've moved slightly into the Duskmoon Hills, and the sun starts to go down, and Merrick looks about and he says, "This is as good a time as any. I think we should stop. I think tomorrow, if we push very hard, we'll be able to reach the gates of Enholm before sunset. So I think we should bed down for the night." And you know, without question, Gert and Buster, they immediately start taking out the tent that he travels with. And you've seen this because it's been a couple days since you left, and it's you know pretty nice. Like for camping outdoors, it's pretty nice. And they set it up for Merrick, and they get his bedroll and everything ready. And about halfway through, Gert stops and he starts a small fire, and looks like he's going to start cooking some food for the three of them.
Can I take a look around the camp, make sure it's a safe area?
Yeah, I mean, you actually they went off, and you get the impression they may have gone this way a couple times before, because they've actually picked out a spot that, and you look, you can actually very well see that there's several spots where they actually picked a burnt-out campfire that have been there before, just an area of the earth that has been scorched, and they've got like I said, a small fire going. You're looking around. There's a few larger rocks that you're in, like some scrub, as far as but no large trees or anything. You can see a good 150 to 200 yards in any direction. You're not like at the base of a hill, so somebody could climb up the top and like throw something down at you or anything like that. It seems like a very well-used camping area that has been used before, probably because of the fact that it has a lot of visibility and you can see what's going on.
Well, cheers to that.
Hey, Ingve, how about you and I? We'll take the first watch. We'll let Minx and Garad take the second watch. Derek and Sargon, just keep an eye on that halfling over there. Make sure he's
You're
not
awfully
getting into any of
bossy.
the stores, and we'll make sure that everything's safe for the evening.
If I wanted the stores, I would have let out of here 3 days ago.
You start discussing watches, and you find it a little peculiar that neither of the bodyguards are really conferring with you at all. They seem to have they've just kind of set up like they've taken a couple of empty crates out of the back of the. Oh look, my cat came over. They took a couple of crates out of the back of one of the wagons, and they placed them down, and they're now sitting down, and they whatever gruel or thick pasty stew that they've boiled up, they've taken out their bowls, and they are now straining to get through the gristle and the fat, but and chewing away. And they don't seem to be talking much, just mostly every once in a while you'll see one of them points over in your direction, and they get a little chuckle out of the two of them, but then they just kind of keep to themselves. Merrick has retired within his tent. However, you can see there is a glow from within. He must have a lantern on or something, because you can actually see that he has a small little folding chair that he has set up, and he seems to be sitting, and like you can see through the silhouette, you can see he looks like he's reading or something. But the sun has set, and it's dusk. It isn't fully dark yet, but you're about 25-30 minutes away from it being pretty dark.
Are they wearing red shirts?
No, they're
Are
not.
you?
They're wearing a very well used chainmail. You can see in many spots it's been patched. They have sturdy swords on their side, and you can see like they've propped up a couple of shields that are very very bent and dented and scratched, but look very serviceable. But they've definitely been down the road and back again, for them.
But before it gets too dark, can I check the area for tracks? See if any
Yeah,
animals.
absolutely. And you can go ahead and make the very first ever D20 roll for this campaign.
Oh,
So, if you're familiar with the rules, you should have a perception score or skill for and then you have the tracking feat, I believe, because you're a ranger, correct?
correct. So I'm doing a perception check.
What you're doing is, actually, let's do search. Go find your search, and it should. I think if I remember correctly, it'll be based off of wisdom off the top of my head. It might be intelligence, but I think it might be wisdom. If you want me to look it up, I will, or you can.
Perception is wisdom.
Perception is wisdom, but I think search is. I'll have to look it up. Just give me a second. I mean, there's somebody watching this right now, and they're like, "It's intelligence. I can't believe you don't know." Let's see here. All right, here we go. We have. Well, who's laughing? Why is everybody laughing?
I am having a grand time here at the campsite. It has been scouted. We have some fine folks, Butch and Sundance over there, that came with this Merrick guy, who are having a good time themselves. I'm just enjoying this evening, is all.
Mix, should we worry that the primary source of our healing and blessing and well-being is a large person who doesn't seem to know more than 3 or 4 words? Should we worry about that?
Let me tell you a little something about Grodd. I may have skimmed over this earlier, but Grodd, as you can see, is a pretty imposing presence. That is what drew me to him in the first place. Oh gosh, we were just kids when we met. And of course, I'm still a kid, but us gnomes, we don't age. Anyway, I saw
Anthony,
him lurking over there. He was kind of by himself, and I was like, hey, what's going on with this big orc thing. And I've never met an orc before, and it just, kind of took up with my charming ways, naturally, and struck up a friendship. So I can tell you this, while he has a super tough exterior, he's a big softy inside. Don't you give me that look, Grodd. You are. It's totally true. It's totally true. But yeah,
That's
you're
great,
good
Grodd.
man still, guys.
You know what, Grodd, I'm going to sit in a corner while we're getting our gruel on. I'm going to sit in a corner and sketch a little picture of Grodd and Minx together as a nice hobby, as I like to do. Let me get a little sketch going for you guys.
You make a nice picture of Minx.
I would do what he says.
Well, maybe we'll arm wrestle a little bit later, Grodd. We'll have some fun and we'll become friends.
Anthony, roll your survival check, and survival, and then add 1 to that because you're checking for tracks. So you're gonna roll 7. So
Okay.
1d20 plus 7.
That's what I thought. So 10.
Off to a great start. You spend
All those 20s we rolled earlier.
You kind of move out in a slow circle around the camp, and you get about 50 yards out, and maybe it's because it's dark, and because there is a modifier because it's dark, and which I'm figuring in myself. And maybe it's just because it's a well used spot. I mean, you're just not finding any tracks that are really specific. Tam, I'm going to need you to go ahead and roll your stealth check then, which is going to be your dex, whatever check what your stealth bonus is, and a d20 plus that. Do you have any? You're not carrying any lights or anything with you. You're just okay. So go ahead and you rolled astoundingly well. Let me roll a couple of quick checks for Buster and Gert to see if they perceive you. No. No.
Oh, Lord. Dude,
All right.
can we roll? Is there any of us that are watching that have a perception check to see if we see what's going on?
Yeah,
I will let you roll a perception check, but I mean, none of you have specifically said you're well. I mean, Dan, you actually mentioned that somebody should keep an eye on Tam.
Right.
Nobody else really said anything, so you can just roll your straight. Oh, you as well, Derek? You're keeping an eye on Tam?
I'm keeping an eye on Tam.
I'm keeping an eye on everyone.
That's why
You have 7 eyes. Impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Dole. If you want to just roll a d20, all of you, and add your perception bonus. But I'm gonna give everybody but Dolgar and Derek a -2 to your check because you're setting up the camp. You're not really paying attention to what's going on. You're hungry. You want to get your food in your belly, and if you're not on first watch, you want to bed down and get some sleep. So figure out what your perception is, and then go ahead and roll that for me now, please.
So this is where the noob doesn't know. So my perception is +4.
Yeah, that's exactly. So you're going to roll 1d20
plus 4. Okay.
You're going to have to.
That's
I'm going to have to redo that. I forgot my plus thing.
Well,
that would be a very good roll normally if Tam hadn't gone crazy.
Yo. I got you guys.
That's my Minx.
Did everybody roll?
yep.
All right, very good. Minx, you're sitting there, you're prattling on and going off on one of your little rants and your little stories, and you kind of glance around and you didn't all of a sudden you just kind of like you do a little head count at the campfire and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where the heck is Tam?
Where's Tam? What? Where'd he go?
Oh, Tam, I have a feeling do we have all our stuff accounted for that's sitting around here?
You were supposed to be watching him.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on all of us. If our little group here is okay, let Tam have his fun with the old timers. If Tam is having fun with the old timers and not messing with us, let him have his mischief. I think we should allow the halfling. Halflings, they're crazy. We'll let the halfling.
What are you trying to say about smart people? And you know what? You shouldn't be so hard on yourself.
No, I didn't say anything about gnomes. Our gnomes go back in dwarven heritage quite a bit. Halflings, I'm not quite sure about, but
Especially you still
we'll
ask
see.
those questions.
Especially the ones with the compulsion that Tam has.
As an aside, in my D&D campaign that we've been playing now for almost 2 years, in my campaign world that I created, halflings are kind of they're like everybody considers them like second, like basically like the lowest race possible. They refer to them as breeding like rabbits and living in slums and stuff like that. So, but anyway, all right. So Tam, you approach you kind of walk off into the darkness, and then you come back and you approach the backside of the tent. There's no opening on this side, but you sneak up very closely to the tent, and the two guards haven't seen you. They're into their gruel. They're not paying any attention to what's going on. And you creep up to the backside of the tent. You can't see in. It's a pretty well-made tent. It's you can see a silhouette, and like I said, it looks like he appears to be reading. And you notice he also has a it looks like a quill in his hand. Every once in a while, you see through the silhouette of the lamp or the lantern that he has. He's like, he puts it in there, and then he's like writing, and he seems to be kind of talking to himself a little bit.
Is he saying anything I can understand in the mumbles?
Why don't you make a perception listening check for me? He's kind of talking under his breath. He is talking in common, so you can understand him. All right. You get down on one knee, so you're even lower to the ground normal, and you put your ear up to the tent, and you sit there, and you realize that he's basically balancing his ledger. He's like, okay, and then shipping costs 14 silver pieces, and income of pay, Girton and Buster, this many gold pieces, and then you hear him say, 50 gold pieces to each adventurer. He's just taking care of his bookkeeping.
Okay. I'll work my way back to the group.
All right. You need one more stealth check. Don't blow it.
He says that, but he really wants you to blow it.
Oh, I do, but yes. It'll be tough for him to do poorly in this. Yeah. You creep away slowly. Let's just see how the able-bodied guards. Oh, that's not. Well, no, almost. And then. No. So you creep away, and you make your way back into the campfire. The rest of you see Tam kind of just show up out of nowhere. And he just wanders up and plops down next to the fire. And,
What's up?
I say something to. I'd like to say something to Tam in Gnomish to see if he understands.
What the hell are my languages?
What do you say in Gnomish?
I say to him.
I don't know what he says to me.
Okay. So I check to see if he speaks Gnomish.
But Rhiannon, but he doesn't have to. Maybe he knows that you're trying to. See, this is a good roll on the bluff. This is something where you're trying to gather knowledge from somebody without them realizing it. Bluff is a skill that's based off of charisma. So if you haven't put any points into it, you have to do it untrained. So whatever your charisma bonus is, you can roll a d20 and add that.
I don't have any bonus whatsoever.
So just d20, flat d20.
Yeah,
so a 9.
Shouldn't try to
all right, that's okay. No, so
well, I'm not trying to persuade because then what I can do is speak to Rhiannon and Gnome, and he either will or will not know what I say to him.
All right, let's do it this way. So now, Keith, what you're going to do is you're going to do a sense motive check. That's a d20. If you have any ranks in it, great. If not, you're just going to do a d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
That's right, baby.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to. So you hear Dan say something, in Gnomish, and you basically look at him like, what? And so yes, it's painfully obvious that he has no idea what you just said.
Okay. I go over to Tam Tam, I'm going to give you something right now. I give Tam 10 gold pieces. Just flat out give you 10 gold pieces. Tam, you do what you want to other people, but in a group like ours, we have to stay together and we have to trust ourselves.
What's bringing?
If you go near anybody in this group, I will cut your hands off. And I say it very calmly. Very calmly. I don't raise my voice. I don't go low. I just say very calmly. Here's 10 gold pieces. If you feel the need to take any of these things, throw them out in the woods and go take them from the bushes.
I don't need your money.
I'll give it to you up front. You are our friend, and I will protect you with my last dying breath. But
I don't need your 10
hand in my
gold.
pocket. I will kill you.
First off, I don't put my hand in your pocket. That's not how it works.
I didn't say you did. I am not accusing you.
I don't need your money.
If you have any need or desire to go into my pocket, here's 10 gold pieces.
Dolgar, I don't need your money. You're all right. I just had to go take. I had to go take a deuce. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. And I whisper to I say to Minx in Gnomish, keep an eye on that one.
Obviously.
Minx is by cups, however, so you don't know how well she's gonna be paying attention to you. So.
My perception is quite high. Thank you. I'm very
Perceptive.
Yep.
Very good. All right. Well, so you set up you have your watches set up. I believe we have. Who are the spellcasters? It's yeah. Okay. We have Derek and Grodd. Grodd, you have an important decision to make, and this will affect like your character for the rest. Well, as long as they're alive. Would Grodd pray for his spells at dusk or at dawn?
At dawn.
All right. So you then can basically you have to have 8 hours of sleep continuous, and then you wake up in the morning and then you pray for your spells. So you're going to have to be on first watch if that's the case.
Okay.
So you can sleep your 8 hours and then you wake up, and then on your watch basically then you pray to your deity for your spells for that day.
So Grodd and Minx, if Grodd doesn't really trust anybody in this group, would Grodd prefer to be on watch with Minx or have Minx on watch while Grodd's sleeping?
You tell me. What do you think Grodd would do?
Oh, Grodd, you know I got you. Go to sleep, boy.
Yeah. I think Grodd would prefer, because Minx will wake Grodd up if anything happens to Minx, so Grodd will sleep while Minx, so we should split our watch, Minx.
Agreed, Grodd. Rest
So
up,
am I on
your
first
friend.
watch then? So I'm on first watch. Did we complete first watch, or am I on first watch now?
Yep. Like my understanding then it's going to be Ingve, Grodd, and Dolgar on first watch. Second watch,
does Derek need to pray?
Derek
as well?
needs to also go either first or last.
Okay.
Druids can get theirs whenever. So he can go on first watch or last watch. It doesn't matter.
Who is Grodd's deity?
Sarnay.
Just make sure Ingve doesn't drink while he's on watch.
So you have Ingve, Grodd, and Dolgar on the first watch, and then we have on the second watch we have I believe wasn't it Minx and Sargon, and then last watch we have Derek and Tam. So am I on the right page, or is that I'm good to everybody?
Sounds good.
That last watch is highly suspicious.
All right. So let me just make a couple of rolls here. Robin, do you know what is the thing if I want to hide a roll? How do I hide the rolls for like so I just rolled it myself?
GM roll, I think.
Yeah.
/GM roll.
I personally like seeing what he gets. I mean,
You could always roll a
You can
20
just
on your
rotate.
side. We trust you, Lance.
No.
Yeah, you
And
can fudge electronic rolls just as well as you can fudge in-person rolls.
Yeah, no doubt. So slash GM roll, it's and then just do
The
what?
dice you want to roll. D20, D20 plus 2, whatever.
Is there a space then too?
Yeah, slash GM roll space and the D and then the dice size you want to roll.
All right, very
and
good.
any modifiers.
All right.
I like that less.
I don't like that. Ooh.
Give me just a moment, please. Not that anything's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, something happens on the Dwarf Watch. Way to go, Dwarf.
I'm just gonna. Well, me and Ingve are gonna just shoot the proverbial stuff and.
You know how brothers are. You get them together, and then they're like in a headlock before you know it. Oh, gosh.
We got to do something if I got to try and keep him from drinking.
So, Grod, did you bring any ale?
No. I do have, like I said, I've got first round when we get there, but I didn't bring any with us.
I was talking to Grod.
Oh, I thought you said Dolgar. Sorry.
Hey, Grod.
Because Dolgar
God's
and
sleeping.
Grod sound so much alike.
Well, I was figuring we were talking since we were on the first watch. Isn't?
Well,
Grod's
Grod's
gotta
on the
take first
watch with us.
too. Yeah.
I have to be. Not happy about it.
I thought you were going to say Grod not happy about it.
Quit talking over there.
I'm just going to keep my eye. Now I feel like I have to keep an eye on the camp, on these squirrely guards, and on these two half-brother goof-offs that are not taking this as seriously as they could right now.
Ingve, I give Ingve a little noogie, and I go in a corner and just start drawing. I'm like, you guys just get acquainted with each other. I'll be over here just drawing.
So how tall are you, Grod?
That's a good question.
Taller than you.
I
6'2", 6'4".
don't know if I rolled anything for that.
I'm 6'2".
Oh,
That's
Grod.
actually pretty
You're
George
so
was
big.
talking to Grod again.
I'm asleep. Wait, what am I doing?
Suze, that's actually pretty small, short for a half orc. You'd be considered a runt.
It was all that the
other half is halfway.
Hero Lab would let me be. I tried to be taller, but Hero Lab wouldn't let me do it.
Half orcs in general get, I mean, pretty standard size for them is 6.5 to.
I wanted to
7
do
feet
that,
tall.
but Hero Lab wouldn't let me.
Well, the heck with Hero Lab. This is your
Blame
character.
the tool.
Well, then shit. Yeah, I'm 6'6".
Rod and I are the same
You're a
size.
halfling half orc.
You're 7'8".
I'm 12 feet tall.
No, you're not.
Hence my fascination with you.
I'm
Say his person
3'3", so
I wanted to be
Or
like
me too.
6'6", 6'8", and like 325, 350. I wanted to be big.
So really, on that big physique of yours, do you have any ale on you?
Listen.
Ale is a
Honestly.
distraction that none of us need on this journey. So why would I bring that with me? I brought only what I need to protect myself and Minx and our charter. You can go sing a little song on your lute over there in your corner while your brother draws little pictures.
You don't sing songs on lutes.
All right.
Grod.
Grod is making friends and influencing people already.
About halfway through the night, Buster and Gert see that you guys have established watches, and they kind of chuckle to themselves, and they just go to sleep. They figure you're going to take care of it, and within about 5-10 minutes, just like a good soldier, sleep when you can. You can hear their snoring, and they're out. The night creeps forward. It's a very still night, and you're good spirits. You've had you still have your food that you brought from home. It was still fairly fresh. You're feeling good about things. Derek and Tam get up for their last watch. They're woken up, and Derek goes through his process to commune with nature to get his spells for the coming day. Well, Tam, I don't know, like flips the new 10 gold pieces that he got back and forth between his hands. And it looks like Dan's got a popsicle, actually.
Sorry, I was.
I'll comb my
It's
feet.
a bad clip. I was just messing with it. It just happens to be on my desk.
Oh, very good. And like you're about halfway through your watches are about 2.5 hours long. They're not super long, but you're about halfway through your watch. And I'm going to need both Derek and Tam to make a couple of quick perception checks for me.
A lowly 12.
Oh.
All right, Derek, your mind is a flutter in your talking, feeling the earth, feeling the elements of where you're at, and you're just kind of, your mind is, you're still going through that rush that you get every single time when you get reacquainted with your surroundings, and it's a new area too. So you're just like you're feeling the rocks and feeling the grass growing, and but as Tam is like kind of looking at you quizzically, Tam, you. In the very, very dull glow of the campfire that you have, you can see several small humanoid shapes creeping. If they're trying to hide very well, and they did a fairly good job, but your keen eyes saw them. You can see several small shapes creeping forward out of the darkness, and they seem to be kind of grouping and getting ready to rush the camp.
How far away do they seem to be? Like
they're just on the, well, with your halfling vision, you can see doubly as far in darkness. So they're just on the edge of your vision. You think they're about maybe 50, 60 feet away from you right now.
I'd better try to rouse my companions.
All right. How are you going to do that? Are you just going to start yelling, or what are you going to do?
No, I'm going to start nudging them really quickly.
All right. I want you to pick the first person you're nudging. Now.
Anthony. Sargon.
Sargon. All right. You creep over. You walk over to Sargon, and Derek, you kind of look over at Tam, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And you grab Sargon, and you shake him awake, and Sargon opens his eyes, and he's like looking at you like, "What?" And for half a second, Sargon like reaches for his coin pouch to see if he's caught you. But and then you hear the unmistakable yell of goblin voices and the beating of feet as they rush the camp. So and 8 goblins come running out of the darkness to attack. So in this situation, Sargon, Derek, and Tam are going to be able to act in the first round, and I'm going to need initiative rolls from all 3 of you. You should have an initiative modifier. Sargon, what type of armor do you have?
Studded leather.
All right, you can sleep in that, so you can be wearing your armor. People that are wearing heavier armor, that's still light armor. If you have like a medium or heavy armor on, you can't sleep in that and actually like sleep well. You'll wake up exhausted. So you'll have your full armor class. Like Grodd, I'm pretty sure you have. What kind of armor do you have, Grodd? Grodd? What type of armor do you wear, Grodd?
Oh, I'm sorry, leather.
Leather?
Light leather.
Oh, wow, okay. I mean, does anybody have like chainmail or like half plate or burgundy?
I've got scale mail. It's a medium.
Yep. So Dan, you will not be wearing your scale mail.
Okay.
You will, if you have a shield, you can have that. But
Okay.
But you're not awake yet anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah, I'm still sleeping.
So the goblins, with a if you understand goblin, they yell out, "Grab the small ones for our food," and they come rushing out of the darkness. And if you don't know what a goblin is they're they're about 3 feet tall, 3.5 feet tall. Just long, spindly arms and legs. They just look very dirty. They have very cheap-looking. Yeah, there you go. I mean, basically, if you can see this, I mean, this is a goblin. There you go. They have like a mouthful of sharp teeth. They move at a lightning quick speed. They're about the same size as a gnome, and actually goblins are well known for liking to eat gnomes. So, and gnomes don't like goblins very much. So, in this situation, we're going to need the 3 people that are awake to roll initiatives, and then I know said he was going to take care of initiative for us. Correct, Anthony?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and roll initiative, and then we'll get that information to them. Everybody. I have a 19. The goblins are fast.
Damn, I
17.
got 23.
Okay.
I have a 20.
Well, it looks like we got a 20 to 23. That's pretty solid.
17.
So so basically, the way this is going to go is, Sargon, you're lying on the ground right now. So normally in Pathfinder, what you have is you have a move action and a standard action. And what that basically means is that you can move and then you can do something. You can cast a spell. You can swing your sword. You can open a door. You can activate a magic item. Things like that. And so a move action is either moving your speed, and we're not using a grid for this, so don't worry about it. We'll just kind of figure out. I'll tell you, yeah, you can reach that, or no, you can't, if there's a question as far as that. So here you have you look up and you see these 8 goblins charging forward with and swinging these evil-looking, almost like cleaver-like swords. They seem to be wearing like some sort of weird hide armor that they've patched together, and they have little tiny wooden shields that look like they've barely held together. You can stand up, which is a good idea because if you're on the ground, it's easier for them to hit you. And what you can do is you can say, "I'm going to hold," and I'm going to wait until a goblin gets close enough, and you can swing your sword at them. In which case, if you do that, you actually get the first attack because they're coming into you, if you understand what I'm saying.
Dolgar sled.
So I don't have time to kneel and draw my bow, correct?
Well, if you could, the problem with that is that yeah, you probably could. You could probably grab a weapon and throw your quiver over your shoulder. That's fine. But that's like an action. Like standing up and grabbing your sword and just standing up. You can do that as part of all one action and doing that.
Okay, I'll do that.
You're a ranger. I'll rule that you can stand up and knock an arrow if you want. But if a goblin gets close to you, remember you can't use your bow without letting them swing their sword at you. So there you go. Make up your mind, Sargon. You're first. You want to stand up and grab your sword, or do you want to stand up and draw your bow?
How far are they? 50 feet?
They're about 50 feet away, but they're running full speed. They are going to reach you.
I'll draw my sword.
All right. Who's up next then? Keeper of the initiative.
Me and Tam.
Tam, what is your plan?
I'll draw my rapier and set myself to be ready for their charge.
All right.
I'll probably yell at everyone.
All right. That's very good. It's always good to have somebody yelling, goblins or something like that. All right. So
Goblins have third initiative.
Yes. So the goblins rush forward, and they are going to. There's 8 of them, and 2 of them each go after the people that are standing. And the other 2, let's just see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you, and there's technically 10 because of the fact that we have the 2 guys lying on the ground, and also Merrick, who is within there. So let's just go ahead and roll this and see what we got. All right, so the other two are going to charge one of the guards that's on the ground and looking to finish him off before he can stand up. All right, so here we go. So the first one rushes forward, and he is going to attack. The two are going to rush forward and attack Sargon. Sargon, you can attack one right now if you want to, when they get close enough to swing your sword. So just go ahead and roll d20 and add your hit modifier for using your sword, which should be 1 plus for your level plus your strength modifier.
Yeah, I got main hand is +4.
There you go. Anytime.
Oh, sorry.
Just go ahead and
Turns
roll
3D
that.
right
Roll
roll.
that. There you go. Oh, you.
All right, 19.
Wow.
One of them rushes forward, and you easily come down on him with a downward stroke of your sword. Go ahead and roll the damage. Is it a long sword? What kind of weapon is it?
It's a longsword, so D8, and I get +2.
There you go.
And I will turn off this 3D roll after this combat. That's what's taking so long for the roll to go through.
Mm-hmm. Anytime.
Hey.
Wow.
All right, yeah, and you watch as the sword just sinks right into the goblin's neck, and you catch him in mid war cry, and he slumps to the ground. The remaining goblin, however, attempts to hit you with his cheap little jagged short sword. I'm just going to go ahead and roll. And what is your armor class there,
13.
Sargon? All right.
13.
13. That's not good. All right, we'll roll, and you dodge out of the way as the sword swings at you, and you and the goblin begin circling each other, looking for a way in. All right, so we have then 2 on Derek, and Derek hasn't been able to act yet, so he is still communing with nature and scrambling to his feet. So the 2 goblins rush forward to attack the druid. What is your armor class, Derek?
14.
14. All right, we have a roll of 13, just barely missing.
Sorry, 15. 15.
Oh, well, okay, got even worse for him. And then we'll roll again. Oh, they're climbing the ladder on you, but your armor holds, and you know that if you hadn't if you had been on the ground or sleeping, they probably would have been able to stab you butt good. All right, Keith, you're in the same situation that Sargon was in. The 2 rush forward, and you can now attack one as he gets close.
Can I roll through to try to pop behind him with my acrobatics to stick him in the back as they run past?
Unfortunately, that does not work. You have to have somebody on the other side of them to be able to get your sneak attack damage. They're focused on you, and you don't have somebody on the other side, so they can give all their attention. You're not flanking them.
Oh,
so to
okay.
speak.
I was just trying to get out from in front of their blades, but that's
I understand.
Yeah, which one's an easier target for me? The one that just took a swipe at Anthony, or the 2 coming at me?
You're probably worried about the 2 guys coming right at you because
All right.
they're trying to stab you in the face.
I'll stab the ugliest one.
All right, you stab Grodd.
Hey. At least I'm awake now.
Oh, a massive hit. If you had gotten a 19, it could have been a possible critical. Go ahead and roll, I believe, a rapier for halfling. Is that D4 or D6 is the size?
D4 plus 1.
There you go.
Written mine. I rolled max.
Yeah, you sink that rapier right into that goblin's chest, but he just snarls and keeps coming. It wasn't enough to take him down. The 2 of them are going to attack you. What is your armor class?
17.
All right, let's see if we get lucky here. There we go.
Wow.
You grimace as a goblin blade cuts into your side for 4 points of damage. The one that you stabbed gives back almost as good as he got and cuts you deeply. Deduct that from your hit points, please, good sir. And the other one tries to finish you off. Oh, look at that! It's that's a possible critical. So let's see if we got a critical here. He did not get a follow up. Basically, with a short sword, which is what they're using, a 19 or a 20 is a possible critical. And so, oh my gosh, actually, Tam, you actually did get a critical or a possible critical with that attack because a rapier is 18, 19, 20, I believe. Hold on. I apologize. Everybody, quick, open your books. Reroll a d20 for me, and you're a normal to hit. There, Keith.
Whoa, there's a nice one.
Well, never mind. It wouldn't have been a critical anyway. So let's see if we knock poor Tam unconscious in this battle here already. How many hit points did you start with there, Keith?
11.
11. Oh, well, I don't think I can even take you down. You take another 4. You are not looking good. You took 2 good cuts, one to the side and one to the leg, and you're bleeding profusely. You yell up. Now, everybody else who is sleeping, I'm going to need you to roll a d20 plus either your wisdom modifier or your constitution modifier, whichever is better. If you get a 10 or higher, you've woken up because of the sound of the battle and the screams and the yells.
Are we, I'm sorry, D20?
D20 plus either your constitution modifier or your
17.
wisdom modifier.
Hey, Marty, what was the shortcut for the roll that you just made? Remember?
If you click on that dice on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Has last 10
Do
rolls.
I get to
Okay.
Grodd is awake.
Everybody's
Scary.
out.
We've rolled some pretty high numbers here.
do I get to fight back?
Need to do a couple of quick things here. All right, they do the 2 that attack the guard. I will say it's Gert. One of them connects and does 6 points of damage to him, and he yells out and starts scrambling to his feet. And because they're fairly close, let me just make a quick roll for Buster. And Buster wakes up. And one more roll. Oh my! And America's like, "What's going on out there?" He's yelling from his tent, and you hear him like scrambling awake. Okay, so everybody who hasn't rolled initiative at this point, I'm going to need you to roll your initiative modifier now, so Anthony can write down that number, and we can figure out where you're going to be in the next round. Look at that! Look at these rolls. Except for Dan.
Except for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Bulgar is slow.
Too busy drawing pictures.
Yeah. That milk makes you sleep a little deeper than alcohol, apparently.
All that lactose.
It's heavy in your stomach. It weighs you down.
Yeah. How's the shawl?
It's a Snuggie. Thank you. And this is my armor of protection, obviously. Don't be ridiculous.
It's certainly affecting us from what we could possibly see. Zing. I have to do my own zings. That makes
Or you have to make better
Don't worry,
jokes.
I'll zing for you since it'll be another year before I'm allowed to attack.
All right, so Anthony, start at the
Yes,
top.
sir.
If you have people that have the same number, because I know we do, two people at 23, the person with the highest dexterity will go first.
Okay. So it's
Now
going to
notice.
be.
Oh, just one more thing. Notice when it is your turn. Oh, actually, Derek, you're going to correct me. It's highest initiative modifier is first, and then dexterity.
No, I was going to ask if I get to respond to the goblins that are crawling all over me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he never
that's
got
right.
to go. Yep.
I was moving forward. You're fine. No, go ahead. Go ahead. If you want to talk to them, see if they want to communicate.
Silly druid.
I want to get away from them. I want to get back away from all the goblins.
Okay, well, you can do what's called a full retreat, and what that is it's basically a double move, but you have a weapon in your hand. That's the big thing. I mean, you were on guard, so you must have a weapon.
I had a quarterstaff.
Yeah, so because you have a weapon in your hand, you're able to use that to normally just mechanism-wise in Pathfinder. Once you are engaged with an enemy, it is very difficult to disengage without letting them attack you. You can't just run around combat. If you run by somebody, they get what's called an attack of opportunity. If we had grids, you could see it better. Basically, every square around you on a grid, you threaten. You basically that's a spot that that's kind of like you control it, if you will. And so if somebody enters into one space of it, nothing bad happens. Basically, because they're coming in, they have their sword out, they're knocking your sword out of the way, so you can't attack them. However, if you move through 2 squares of something that somebody threatens, as soon as you get to that second square, then they can start trying to attack you and getting a hit on you as you're going by. Some creatures that are very big will actually have extended threat ranges. They go out, like giants, like up to 15 feet away, they can swing their club and hit somebody. So you have to actually get through that, and so they get attacks on you as you come close. Because of their reach. In this situation, we have goblins and goblins are much smaller, but you basically all threaten the same thing. So what Derek's going to do is he's going to do a double move, which basically you withdraw from combat, and what he's doing is he's moving straight backwards away from both the goblins. He doesn't have a goblin on either side of him. They're both in front of him right now. And so if he had one on either side, he couldn't do what he wants to do. But what he's doing right now is he's backing away from both of them, and because he's got his weapon out, he can basically fend off their attacks as they try to hit him as he goes away. So just to image that in your head, and so later on when we're trying to decide what we're going to do as far as what you're going to do in battle, try to imagine that, if you will. So Derek, you move. I think as
am I allowed to spell as well?
If you want to cast here's the tricky thing. Okay. If you want to all you want to do is get out of combat, that's fine. You can do that. However, if you're getting out of combat but you're also doing something, you're giving somebody a chance to get an attack of opportunity on you. It's one of those weird rules. So if you walk out of combat and cast a spell, you got to think of that. You're not walking 30 feet away and then casting the spell. What you're doing is you're casting the spell the entire time as you're walking backwards. And then you cast the spell. So, and casting a spell while you're right next to somebody provokes an attack of opportunity. However, there is the ability to cast. It's called it's a concentration check that allows you to cast a spell while you're next to somebody, and basically it's considered because at the same time you're dodging and ducking and weaving and trying to prevent them from hitting you. But that can screw up your movements and your vocalization of your spell, and so you could lose the spell. So if you want to do that, great, fine, go ahead. But then you have to make what's called a concentration roll to be able to do that. And
because I'm kind of worried about Tam at the moment, so maybe trying to.
You want to heal
him out might be advantageous, but it depends how quickly the others are going to be up and around. Because generally they've got better initiative than me, or will have better initiative. So
you glance around, you see everybody is waking up and moving, and they're cursing and they're asking what's going on, what the heck, it's just goblins, and so you see that.
I'll double back. I'll retreat from combat.
All right, so you double back and you avoid the combat, if you will. So that was your turn. I apologize. So then we're kind of backing up. But moving forward, everybody has gone ahead and we've rolled initiative. So we're going to go back up to the top. We have 2 people at 23, and that is Ingve and Sargon, correct?
Right, correct.
All right. So Sargon, what is your initiative modifier?
3.
You're flat out at 3, and Ingve, what's your initiative modifier?
+5.
All right. So you go first, Ingve.
All right, so are there any goblins close to me?
There are no goblins next to you. There are 2 goblins attacking Buster, one of the guards, who is scrambling to his feet and trying to draw his sword. You notice that he is not wearing any armor, but he's grabbing his shield as well as the other one. You see there is one very dead or dying goblin at the feet of Sargon, and he is and he and the other goblin are circling each other, looking for a way to attack each other. You see there are two goblins that are now looking for somebody to fight, since the person they were trying to kill has ran away from them, with Derek. And you see Tam bleeding heavily from a wound in his thigh and a wound in his chest, and he is fighting two goblins, one of which looks almost dead. It looks like he's got a huge pooling blood in his chest, and it's just dripping out of him at a very fast rate.
Okay, well, definitely what I see needs to be here is we need song. I need to inspire those that are around us, and so I would like to pick up my lute and do a performance, and I would like to inspire courage among my party as we get ready to fight these goblins.
I hope it's Tom Sawyer.
It is going. This morning's song is going to be "Eye of the Tiger," because that's what will drive us to
Nice.
drive these goblins back. So I would like to do an inspire courage.
All right, so tell everybody what your inspiring courage does.
Yes, inspire courage is what that's going to do, and I'll make sure I get this right. It's going to give you a +1 to your attack and damage rolls.
Sweet.
Yes. You hear Yngve break into song, a wonderful battle song from some far-off land. Now, the neat thing, Yngve, is that you can
Called
actually,
Los Angeles.
I'm sure you have a perform skill in lute, but do you have a perform skill in singing as well?
No, it's just in lute. It's I have perform skills in comedy and lute.
All right. Well, the cool thing is that like your lute, you can start with your lute, if you will, but you can segue into another skill like comedy, which could be you just like making fun of the goblin that you're fighting. Like, oh, like it's like you're extra green. You know, what did mom not keep you in long enough? You know, or something like that. And so you're telling jokes, and that inspires people as well. So and you can, as long as you continue doing that, you then can go on the offensive and start swinging your sword as well, as long as you're continuing doing whatever it is that you're doing to inspire everybody. Just so you know, you don't have to just sit back in the corner, you know, strumming away at your lute the entire time. So
Okay.
just so you know.
Okay. So I can do something else right now?
No, you have to start the spell. You start your song or your performance, if you will.
It starts like
And
this.
then-
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 like that. So go ahead.
You start your performance, and then after that, when it stops, normally it continues for 1 round per level, if I remember correctly, after you're done. But you can do what's called like it's kind of like a concentration. But what you do is you just, as long as you keep performing, then you can continue to inspire. You can continue to get people excited and have the effect. And I think there's a maximum number of rounds. I'll have to look up the bard. It's been a long time since I've had a bard character, and I apologize for that. But for the time being, you know, you can segue into that, and then while you're, like I said, dueling a goblin or doing something else, you can continue with your jests or comedy act or whatever, and then we can continue with the +1 for their hidden damage. So. Okay, so Yngve does that. Sargon, you are up. You have a goblin that is circling you, looking for a way to stab at you.
All right, so I get +5 now because I have +4 plus now the 1 for my courage song.
Dun,
That's
dun,
correct.
dun.
All right, 16.
All right, you slice into another hapless goblin.
All right, and
Dun,
now
dun,
that I'm
dun.
already freestanding, I can go to 2 hands with the sword, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so
And so if you go to 2 hands, that means that what's your strength?
I
Sargon?
get +3 instead of +2 on damage.
That is correct.
So I
And
get
remember, add
+4.
another +1. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
So,
12.
Your ward.
yeah, you cleave him down. It doesn't
You
mean-
vaporize him.
If you absolutely had to, you're pretty sure that like you could bandage his wounds or something. Remember that you don't die until you reach -10. That's the big thing. So like that goblin had 6 hit points. You've done 12 hit points of damage to him. He's at -6. He's going to continue bleeding out just like you would if you were at a minus, and so he will die. I mean, his blood will run out. He will not survive. But in the future, if like you knock down a non-player character or a monster that you think you want to capture or you want to ask questions of or something after the battle, you have the ability to do a first aid action to like help them, or any magical healing will also stop bleeding as well. And there's like clerics, Grodd. I don't know if you know this, but you have these 0 level spells, and one of them is called Stabilize, and you basically put your hand on somebody and you cast the spell, and it basically it doesn't heal them at all, but it makes them so they stop dying. So, like, say Minx fell to -3, you could put your hand on that, cast a 0 level spell called Stabilize, and then the Minx wouldn't bleed anymore. You can also cast when you... Go ahead.
If I didn't prepare that spell, do I have access to it? Because I didn't pick Stabilize.
You don't, but you... What is your alignment, Grodd?
Neutral good.
Okay. Well, the nice thing about being neutral good is that you can channel all of your spells and turn them into healing spells at any time that you want. So if you took at first level, you took a bless spell, you could say I need it for healing, and you can turn it into a healing spell instead. And so then, and your healing spells heal 1d8, and then if you have other modifiers as well. And that's the same thing as well. So if somebody was at a negative hit points and you cast a healing spell on them, they would, like if they're a -3 and you rolled a 5, they'd have 2 hit points and they'd be awake and they could function normally. So,
Lance, let me ask you. Can I ask you another question too? We can always deliver a blow that's basically a incapacitate blow, where it's kind of like the not trying to kill somebody. If it's if we've got one goblin left, can we deliver a blow with the other half of our axe or the blunt side or something like that?
Yes, you can. That is called non-lethal damage. If you have a weapon that is designed to do non-lethal damage, then it is a normal attack. There's a few out there. None of you have them. If you want to do non-lethal damage, you basically what you're doing is you're kind of taking a half swing, or like you say, you're trying to hit with the flat of the blade of the axe, and just trying to, and you take I have to look it up, but I believe you take a -4 to your hit roll to do it, because the weapon isn't designed to do that. But if you do that, here's the neat thing, and we're heavy mechanism talking. That's fine. You guys are learning the game. The neat thing is, look, Dan, how many hit points do you have? Or Dolgar, how many hit points?
13.
So Dolgar has 13 hit points. He runs into a couple of thieves that, in a theoretical situation, that wanna knock him out, and they want to ask him some information. Where's the money, Dolgar? Where's the money you owe us, or whatever? But they don't. But Dolgar's tough, and they want to get him kind of knocked out so he's pliable. If somebody attacked you first, like one of them could have a sap, which is the classic thing that you see in the gangster movies. You hit somebody in the back of the head and they're knocked unconscious or whatever. And he comes up and he hits you, and he does like 6 points of non-lethal damage. The next guy could walk up and stab you with a sword that did like 8, and it's actually 2 separate pieces of damage. In reality, you're at like 5 hit points. You're fine. You're not going to die. But because of the fact that you had 6 non-lethal damage, you're at -1, but the non-lethal damage took you down to negative, so you're knocked unconscious. And so if you're in a battle with somebody, you don't have to wait until they're almost dead to walk up and hit them with the flat of your blade. You can open up with that, get a good hit on them, and then make sure, and then so like you knock them down to whatever, and they'll go into you'll knock them unconscious, but they're in no danger of dying because of the non-lethal damage that you've done to them prior to that point. So and it's a very important thing to do, because there's going to be people that you're going to have situations where panicked townspeople that are like yelling and like are hysterical, or like one of your friends gets charmed by a sorcerer or something like that, and they're attacked. You want to kill them, but you need to get them out of the fight, so you do some non-lethal damage.
Yeah, you just want to do the Rhiannon throat punch.
There you go, exactly. All right, cool. Well, we have Sargon has proven his goblin bane. Yes, and so we move on to the next person on our initiative.
That's Bleeding Tam.
Okay, Bleeding Tam, you are not looking good, my friend.
I understand that, but
What is Tam? I just got to ask a quick question, and this is what is your constitution?
my constitution is 16.
All right, so and you're a rogue, right?
Correct.
Let me just check something. Well, just don't you. I'm not sure.
You might be more hurt than you think.
I'm just checking something really quick because I mean,
You're dead.
No, he's not. He
does.
doesn't care. Okay, no, he's good. He's good. He's good.
I didn't take it all in one hit.
Yeah. All right. So you have two goblins that are already, and they've kind of split up, and they're both on either side of you, and you're having trouble keeping your eye on either of them. And they're like, and if you understand Goblin, they're already talking about how good your kidneys are going to taste when they fry them up.
I'm going down swinging, and I'm going to take out the one that I just stabbed.
All right. Very
I'm
good.
not giving up.
All right.
This was my favorite shirt.
Roll your attack. Remember to add the extra +1 because of the inspirational song.
Dun dun dun.
Da, da, da.
All right. Yes, that is exactly what you need to hit the goblin. Go ahead and roll damage. It doesn't really matter because you only have 1 hit point.
You're welcome.
And add the +1 to the damage as well from the song. So yes, you catch him in mid goblinoid talking of how good your kidney would have tasted fried up with some onions, and you stab him through the neck and he falls to the ground gurgling. Who is up next?
All right, so
Can I still try a move action after the attack or not?
You can after you do an attack, you can do what's called a 5-foot step, which isn't really evident in this thing, so we're going gridless. But what you could do is you could say you're gonna start edging towards the rest of the party, or even theoretically what you could do is you could say, which would make more sense, since you were waking up Sargon when this started, you could just I could rule if to make sure that nobody can get behind you or whatever, you could kind of back up so you're right next to him. So maybe then if the goblin wanted to attack, you'd have to fight the guy that's got goblin brains on his sword right next to you.
Okay, but the acrobatics won't let me disengage, basically.
What acrobatics will do for you in this situation is that if there's a big fight and you want to get to the other side of somebody,
I can do it without getting hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, gotcha.
Gotcha. All right, so I believe your goblin friends are up next.
actually, Minx would be up because it's first higher initiative,
Get it right.
All right, Minx. What are you gonna do? You have presently. There are, of the 8 goblins that charge to begin with, there are 2 looking for somebody to fight. There is one that is seemingly wants to take down Tam, and there are 2 over fighting. Looks like the other guards that are with you. So
I'll go deal with the one on Tam.
all right. You charge over. Are you going to rage, Minx?
Nope.
Okay.
I was high earlier, so.
All right, Minx.
So I'm going to use my great axe,
Yes.
and I have a +1 from my courage because of that lovely song. Can I hear it again?
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun. All right, Nick.
So you're going to go ahead and whatever your hit roll is, add 1 to that.
Yeah, and I'm doing it based on the axe thing, the +4. I'm adding the 1 to that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh,
Not great.
Even though it was inspiring, the goblin sees you coming a mile away and he dances out of reach.
I was too excited. I should have been doing the little
And,
hop to the song. I was too into it. Damn it.
And if you understand Goblin, if anybody understands Goblin, he mutters. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know we had gnome flesh here," and he just starts licking his lips as he sees you.
Well, most men do. So.
All right, I believe the goblins are up now. Correct.
Correct.
All right, let's take care of the one. He he swings his little cleaver and trying to separate Minx's head from her shoulders. And we'll go ahead. What's your armor class, Minx?
One moment. Armor class is 18.
Ooh.
Wow.
Dear Lord.
I'm a hardy little gnome.
And they miss horribly as they swing.
That's a shame.
Yes. Since Grodd walked away, we're just going to have the other two goblins attack Grodd. That's what you get when you walk away. They see the half-orc cleric staring off into the distance, not really paying attention to anything. We'll get back so that she can actually mark off the hit points. The two that are still fighting the guard will attack the guard. That is a miss. That is also a miss. And luckily, he has his shield. Grodd, you missed it. The goblins are attacking you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so Grodd, what is your armor class?
Grodd!
She's muted again.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
What's my what?
There we go.
What's your armor class?
10.
10. That's right. You don't have any armor on. All right. So here, let's see here. First goblin hits you
Ouch.
Grodd.
for a full 6 points of damage. You grit your teeth as the sword sinks deep into your side.
Ouch.
Second one, exactly what they need. Grodd wishes that he was wearing his armor.
Well, I'm wearing my
Another-
leather armor, but it doesn't boost my class, right?
No, yeah, it does.
Oh, then it's 12.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So
So, yeah.
it's my armor class plus my armor, right?
No, your armor, your leather gives you +2 to your armor class, so you add 10 + 2, so 12.
12. Sorry.
What's your dexterity, Grodd?
11.
All right. Yes. So you have a shield, Grodd.
No.
All right. Very good. So yes, your armor class is 12, and I would suggest that Grodd buy better armor soon.
When we get to the city, Grodd, we'll hook you up.
So
We can take it off that guy that's
the
gonna be
second
dead
attack
over there.
missed you. You're not right down to 5 points damage. Only
Okay.
take the 6.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
that concludes the goblin's turn. There are 2 on Grodd, there are 2 on a guard, and there is 1 on Minx. Who is up next?
Who has the higher initiative between Grodd and Derek?
I do.
No, Derek, I believe, has... What's your dex, Derek?
Oh.
My dex is 16 plus 3.
Yes, his initiative modifier is higher. So,
Yep.
Derek, what are you going to do? You have a very wounded Tam, you have a slightly wounded Grodd, and the goblins, as I said.
I would like to cast a spell.
Yes?
I'd like to cast Cure Light Wounds to try and cure Tam.
All right, that is a touch spell, so you'll have to run up to Tam to touch him, which is fine. You can do that, no problem, but that does get you closer to the combat.
That's fine.
All right.
I'll go towards Tam.
So roll 1d8, and that is the healing that.
I get a +1 on that.
If you say so.
I can't remember.
Does it get any pluses for the Eye of the Tiger?
They
No,
interrupted your worship of the mushrooms this morning, so you're not feeling so commune with nature. However, Tam, you feel very slightly better. You watch as both the wound on your leg and in your side, you see the blood, slow a little bit, and part of the wound heals a bit, and so you feel slightly better.
I'll take it.
Lance, does he get any bonus from the inspiration?
No, that is only
Okay.
for
Only
attacks
combat?
and damage. Yes.
Okay.
So, Sargon, you can't wander off like that. I need you for the initiative guy. What do you got going on? What's next?
Should be
Who's
me.
up?
Yeah, it should be Grodd.
Yes, it is. That is correct.
I gave it to
Grodd.
you before I left.
He did. All right.
Quit bothering me with the facts.
Silly humans.
Yes. Grodd, what will you be doing?
Well, I gotta shake these little jerks off of me.
Grodd, don't worry,
they're
I
just
got him.
prancing around
So-
you.
I got him. If you need to
They're
heal
just
somebody,
so-
go for
am
it. I'll take him out.
Am I standing?
Yes, you are standing.
Okay, so I'm standing. So I can move, attack, or try to cast something. Correct?
Yes, but remember, if you try to move out of combat and do something else, they're going to get attacks on you. So, but if you just stand there and swing your axe and try to cleave one of them down, that's just fine.
And
If you wanna
Minx
cast
is
a
under
spell-
attack too, right? Minx has a goblin
Minx
on
is-
her, right?
Yep, Minx has a goblin on her as well. I will roll if you wish to, because you two are like inseparable. You can attack the one on Minx, and just by like shuffling over a little bit and keeping the other two goblins at bay.
But she's not wounded, correct?
No.
That is correct.
All right, Grodd.
All right, I'll take my axe and try to get one of these little buggers off of me.
All right, Grodd stands up and lets out a war cry, and Grodd no like you, or something along those lines, and swings away. So go ahead and roll your d20 plus your attack modifier.
20 plus my attack modifier is 1. Where's the attack?
It should be 1 plus whatever your strength bonus is.
My strength bonus. So my strength bonus is 2.
So you're going to roll d20 plus 3.
Plus 3.
That is a possible critical. Roll again, Grodd.
So
Good job,
just.
Grodd. Okay, yeah, just-
We'll do the exact same roll again, Grodd.
Oh shit! Can I just do that? Roll 1d20 plus 3. Oh, damn it!
That is not a critical, but you could have been. But you do hit. You watch in happiness as the heavy axe blade cuts deep into the goblin. Go ahead and roll. Great axe is 1d12 damage. And what is your strength, Grodd?
15
All
plus
right, so
2 modifier. I don't know what you
No,
need.
but since you're using it two-handed, you're going to have plus 3, but remember it's plus 4 because of the awesome song that fills your ears.
So I'm
So roll
Come on, Mark,
1d12
give it to us.
plus 4.
run d12 plus 4. That's got to do something damage.
Yeah.
Split the
I'm
little
just
bugger in half.
Just get off of me and just swinging for the fences.
You watch as the axe bites deep into the shoulder of the goblin and nearly cleaves it in two. Nearly cleaves them in two. He has 6 hit points, so 16 points would kill him outright.
Alright.
But he ain't coming back. You watch as blood sprays all over you and Minx as the axe bites deep down.
I know they're going to get something kinky in that.
Who's up next, Sargon?
Dolgar in his underwear.
Hey, I'm actually allowed to attack.
And the tortoise finally crosses the finish line.
Wake up, grab big ass axe, and what do we look like for a foes in front of us?
We have 2 on the guard that's off to the side that nobody cares about. We have they attack after Dolgar, actually. So you have 1 on Minx, and you have 1 on Grodd.
So we've got 2 on the guard. It's probably the guard is the only one I'm going to be able to attempt to cleave.
Let him kill the guard so she can get his damn armor, since her armor sucks.
Tam can get the money. Come on now.
Well, I mean, I can attack 2 of them if I can manage to hit on the first one.
Yeah, so if you want to try, well, you could get the cleave on the 2 that are attacking Minx and Grodd because they're right next to each other.
Okay, if
So if you
they're
wanna go
close
that
enough
route,
to
you
cleave
can
on
go.
them, I'll go ahead and attack them. And
Very
I'm
good.
going to also do a it's not a power attack. What's it called? It is a power attack. So
Yep.
I can cancel out the +1 that the Eye of the Tiger is giving me to even that out. So I'll still just get a flat +4 from my attack and the hatred bonus.
There you go. because dwarves do not like goblins.
And as I'm doing it, I'm going to scream in Goblin, run away while you still can.
Dolgar, how many languages do you have?
4. And I probably didn't do great. So I got a +4 from what I can see.
It was very intimidating. However,
Actually, I think I have a +5. Sorry, so to consider that one higher. Sorry.
Well, since you need a 14, it's still
Yeah, that's not
Doesn't
good
matter.
enough.
Sorry
I should
about
have
it.
taken the eye of the tiger.
it probably would have been really impressive, your words and everything, if you had actually connected with one of them. And you watch as the goblins prance about and giggle at you. At the slow dwarf, they say, you run. In
Not only
goblin.
can I not roll for initiative, I can't roll to hit either.
So, thus concludes. Oh wait, and I got the 2 guards. So they have the 2 over there. So they. Let's see. Roll. One of the guards. See if he gets a critical. He does not. But. One of the guards drops one of the goblins wordlessly, just like stacking cordwood. They're just swinging their swords. It's just almost they look bored. The other one hits as well, and that one does not drop, but the goblin looks very, very damaged. So. There are now 3 goblins left. 1 on Grodd, 1 on Minx, and 1 left with the guards. So we go back up to the top. We start with Yngve.
Am I close enough to? I'm close enough to where I can get to one, pull out the rapier, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
Yngve's song is over, right? That bonus is gone for this round?
No, that will continue. He like I said, he can change his performance into his comedy routine, like basically taunting the goblins, or perhaps he's drops his hat on the ground and he starts kicking it like he's chasing it at the same time while fighting or something. Ha ha ha! It's so funny.
Could he make fun of Dolgar?
Yeah, he can make fun of Dolgar.
He might as well make fun of Dolgar.
Yeah, so so he can continue doing that. And like I said, I'll look up the bard rules. But even if he stopped his performance, he's at first level. The bonus continues for 1 round after, and that's 1 round per level. So like, if he was 4th level and he sang like for 2 rounds, and then he stopped singing, it would continue for 4 more rounds of combat, just because of the fact that it's so inspiring and such a beautiful lute playing, if you will.
So because I sang last time, does it carry over for this 1 round?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right, so good. So y'all still have the earworm in your ears. I'm going to go up to the... One's on Grodd, one's on the guard, and one's on who?
Minx.
Minx.
All right, so Minx is the one that got hit. No, was it Grodd that got hit?
Oh,
I'm
I'm
hit.
gonna hit.
Grodd got hit. All right, so let me go after the one on Grodd, and I have a rapier. Let's see. All right. So this is roll to hit. Oh, okay.
That is a miss.
It
Yes,
rolls,
it is.
The
rolls in a
goblins.
family, apparently.
Is that with the +1 or not?
It was not, so it would have been 12.
And then I'm going to rule that because of the fact that you are actually coming up behind them, you're flanking and you're getting an extra +2 to hit. So that would be a 14 and exactly what you would need.
Yeah,
Yeah!
that's exactly what I meant to do.
So go ahead and roll your damage, sir.
All right, so this is a 1d6 plus 2, but I add an extra because of the song that's still in my head.
Oh, God, that's going to be my dreams tonight.
Oh, I
Not
hope
bad.
it's in mine.
Yeah, I've got a whole day of it.
Dan's going to be in my dreams tonight.
Hey.
I love you so.
Dorgar.
You won't get anywhere with him. He's asexual.
He's
That's
asexual. That's
right.
exactly
Dolgar
what
is
I said.
asexual.
So I need to switch over to the song that's Bow Chicka Wow Wow.
Yeah, there you go. So 6 points, that is exactly what you need to knock that one unconscious. It is not dead. So if you wanted to actually, that one, but Actually, no, I'm sorry. At 0, you are not knocked unconscious. At 0, you are considered to be staggered. If you ever get knocked to zero hit points, you're awake, but you're barely hanging on. If you can take like basically you take one action around, which could be to heal yourself if you had like a potion to drink or a spell. If you ever do like a full round action, which is like a large process, or if you did a like something that exerts yourself, you immediately go to -1 after you succeed that. So like if you're staggered and you try to swing your sword at somebody like a last gasp, you get to do your attack, but then you immediately go to -1 hit points and start dying. So what you've done with that goblin is you run up and you stabbed him right through the chest, and he watches as the blade comes out the other side, and you yank it back out, and the goblin is just kind of like, like can't understand what just happened. He's like, and he's slowly turning around and drunkenly looking to see who probably ended his days on this earth. So there you go. So there's one still on Minx, and there's one on the guard, and the one that's barely standing up now. So we go back over to Derek, I believe, correct?
Sargon.
Sargon.
All right.
Sargon, the Goblin Death Dealer.
Who am I closer to?
You're pretty equidistant. You could get to any of the goblins you want, and do what you will.
All right, I'll go after the one on Minx.
All right. You charge it behind. You get an extra +2 to hit, which doesn't matter apparently. Go ahead and roll damage.
No.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry.
24 points of damage.
There you go. Sick.
You do the exact same thing. That you walk up and you hack that one and in the side, and it's now holding its side and like can't believe what's happening. They had you sleeping. They thought they had good food, just sitting there waiting for them to shove in their mouths. But unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to survive. After Sargon, who do we have?
Tam.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear over Keith's breathing.
Well, it's his turn,
next.
so that works out.
All right, Tam.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
So I've got one left. Engage with somebody around me.
Well, no. The only one that actually still seems like they're actually going to be able to do anything is the one over by the guards, but he's wounded as well.
I really want to try to stab him in the back.
Well, the one over by the guards, you could do that because you'd be flanking him. You get your sneak attack bonus damage if you hit him.
Yeah, I really want something to die because I don't feel good.
All right, so you rush over to that hapless goblin. Make your attack roll, please. Oh, easily. Yes, you strike him. Now remember, add an extra d6 of damage to your roll because of the fact that you're looking for his vitals and stabbing them.
This could get ugly.
Oh, that was a horrible roll.
Wow.
That's about as bad as it could go.
That is literally as bad a roll as you could make. However, he only had 2 hit points, and so he falls to the ground, and blood pours out of his wounds. Sargon, who do we have up next?
Minx.
Minx, you have a goblin that wanted to eat you, like holding its side and like looks like he's almost drooping down to one knee.
Oh, I want to try to chop his head off, obviously.
All right.
Well, obviously, yeah. Nice.
I still have that song in my head.
Yes.
The bard.
Dun. Sorry, Marty. That's your thing.
13.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm seeing more like pictures coming up on camera, so that we can see the work that Dolgar's doing.
No, it's the other. It's my brother that's doing the work. I'm just dancing over here.
He is unable to hold up his shield, and so you cut him down. If you want to roll damage, feel free. But he like I said, they were staggered.
Well, yes.
Yes, if you want to, feel free.
Oh, so I do.
You do D10.
Yeah. Plus the 3 or 4 because the song.
Yes, D10 plus 4. Yeah, you make
Hoorah,
wormy meat of him. And we have one left that is on Grodd, who I believe is up next, correct? Or maybe it's who's up next?
Nope,
Sorry.
goblins are next.
Oh,
Goblins are next.
pitifully, the goblin starts trying to crawl away from the combat, and if you understand goblin, he is begging for his life.
Does anybody want to interrogate him?
Sure.
Or should I just
Dolgar,
chop
what's he
off his
saying?
head?
I'd be happy to interrogate him.
That's the most words Grodd's put together in a single sentence all day.
We probably should find out who sent him, or if they're just a wandering band, and just figure out a
Let
good
us
to
ask
ask him.
those questions, Dolgar. God.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't.
We've
Don't
got
ask me, because I can't roll for spit.
being incapacitated. Can I just?
Is
I
You're
mean,
the only
anybody
one who speaks gnome or not gnome. Goblin.
I speak goblin.
Right, that's
Yeah.
you're the only one.
Yeah, I'll do
so
it.
can Grodd just? I mean, is the goblin so damaged that Grodd can just reach out and grab him by like the back of his neck and just kind of like hold him like really tight, just slightly above the ground, and kind of carry him over to Dolgar, or do I have to battle him?
I can. I'm probably one of the strongest. I can grab him by the nape and just carry him myself.
It's my turn.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh.
Every time you brag, Dan, you screw up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
So,
Good
so the
point.
goblin is the goblin.
Just we're out of combat very easily. Dolgar, Grodd walks over and kicks the sword out of the goblin's hand.
Okay.
Dolgar grabs him just by the back of his makeshift hide armor and just drags him back to the camp. And
Can I-
both at the same time. Go ahead.
Can I? Do I still have an action? Can I use the spell to try to cure wounds?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
now you're out of combat. You can do whatever you want out of combat. You casting spells. You can cast spells at any time. So,
Okay, so and Minx isn't damaged, correct?
Ask Minx.
Get out of here with that.
You're a spry little thing.
It's Keith
Cam.
and Grodd that's damaged, right?
So Tam's pretty down. Oh, I see. So Tam's
That's right.
5'11", so I'll try to.
The nice thing, Grodd, is that you have all your spells, and you're going to be praying for new ones in the morning.
Yep.
So the nice thing is that you can use up all your spells right now, heal everybody up to full, and then like you're just going to replenish them anyway. So,
So do you want me to roll for that?
well, it's going to be tough to cast them without it. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to walk over to Tam and reach out and kind of give him a side eye and say, "All right, give me your arm." I'm gonna reach out and touch him and cast Cure Light Wounds.
All right. So then it is a 1d8, and you might get a bonus if. What are the domains that you chose for your?
I chose healing and fire.
Very good. Then you are cast level 1, which means you add 1 to all of your healing spells. So roll 1d8 plus 1. Anytime.
There you go.
Wow.
Welcome to my world,
I
people.
just don't want to get healed, Tam.
I don't.
For
God's.
whatever reason, Serenade is not pleased with you. You don't know. You don't feel the mystic energies flowing through you as well as you thought. But like I said, you have all of your spells available to use, so you can definitely recast another one if you.
Can I just take a minute? What might cheer us up here? Can I just suggest something? Yes?
Yes, Minx,
Okay.
please
Go for
speak.
it.
Well,
Minx.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it's actually Ingve's birthday. So,
Oh, that's
since we
true.
took care of all that goblin mess, could we just take a quick moment to sing, maybe just say a happy birthday to Ingve here? I think that's only right. And then we can get back to healing Tam, whatever. But, alright.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations, Marty, for
Happy
completing
birthday.
another trip around the sun.
Give him a.
Happy birthday.
We can give him an air guitar.
Are we not going to sing?
Oh, we should sing.
No, we're not going to sing.
Happy birthday
Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear Ingve.
Ingve.
Happy birthday to
To
you.
that is why Marty is the bard.
I was going to say, and that's why I'm the bard. Because that was not inspirational at all, but thank you very much.
All right, very nice, very nice. All right.
So I will continue to try to heal Tam faster than that.
All right. We'll see if this. Oh, look at that! It did inspire us.
Yay.
There you go.
Ah,
So Tam, you are
Mink.
fully healed.
again,
Yeah,
you are,
baby. Thank
you are
You know,
so
I
clever.
thought we could use a little like reinvigoration.
Have another beer.
Can I heal myself?
Crude, that's for you.
Whoa,
Yeah, definitely.
More for me?
Hear
Are you
yourself.
planning on touching yourself in front of all of us?
Why you gotta be all judgmental like that?
It looks like Derek just.
Grodd has
healed you.
needs.
Heal 4 of you. He healed 4 of your 6 that you took.
I'm good, yeah. So I'm at 9.
And then if you want, you can use another healing spell on yourself if you wish.
I wish.
Well, there you go.
That's-
So now you are fully healed.
Yep.
The Buster walks over and says, "Can anybody help me out with this?" And he points at the wound on his side, which you all have just forgotten about.
Stab him in the eye. No.
Yes.
5.
All right, that's enough. He goes,
Wasn't that
thank you."
asshole laughing at us earlier?
But you did take his money, so I mean, it's the least you could do,
I
right?
didn't take his money.
All right.
I must have misunderstood things.
The rest, it's only about an hour or so before you're going to normally get up, so most of you just decide to stay awake, and just, the adrenaline going through your body and everything is a little probably too great or whatever anyway, so you can't really relax. On the bodies of the goblins, I'm assuming you're going to search them.
Don't we still have the one that I can interrogate?
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell us about the bodies, and then we'll worry about that. I'm sorry.
All right. You find 13 gold pieces. Give you those up how you will, but you dig through their packs and you find them.
We can give it to. Well, I said we give it to the holy man. Derek, I would like to nominate Derek as our party money
Are we
lender.
doing party gold, party gold?
Treasure?
I'm really, really good with money. I can,
No.
No.
no, really. I am really good with money.
Not mine.
Other people's money.
You can be quiet, little one.
I'll look after it for you. The
It's
Royal
ours,
Bank,
precious.
Royal Bank of Gar.
Very good.
Trust the guy that lives in the woods who'll just disappear with the money, whatever.
Give it to one of those animals, you know.
He's one with the elements.
Mm-hmm.
I trust that man with my life.
I trust him with my life, just not my money.
So you're
Okay, so
interrogating.
you have a barely conscious goblin, kind of like sitting on the ground. He's glaring angrily, and his head droops every once in a while because of the fact that he's not feeling good. But he's glaring angrily at the dwarves in the group, and he seems to almost be on the verge of tears a few times, and then he remembers how angry he is, and he gets angry again, and but he's just got his you can see he's got his mouth clenched shut. You can see some of his fangs sticking out either way. His bad goblin teeth, and he just sitting there, and he seems to every once in a while he wipes his nose and wipes his eyes. He's just
Tell him
can't
to
believe.
get himself together, Dolgar. This is pathetic.
Well,
and
He just can't believe
I-
how things went bad so quickly. He thought for sure, they were going to take you guys out.
I pick him up by the shirt, and I look him straight in the eye, lift him off the ground. I don't know if I need a strength check, but I do have a 17 strength, I believe. Yes, I have a strength.
It's like a small child. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I lift him up, I look him straight in the eye, and I say in Goblin to his face, "Who sent you to disrupt our travels?"
And he, this is a good time to make an intimidate check. Not that it's going to take much, but
Okay, let
all
me see what I got here.
all fighters have intimidate.
Yep.
So if you have skill ranks in that, go ahead and roll the d20 on that. Oh yeah.
Cool.
So,
Wow, crit. I
Um,
critted that. Yeah, of course, I can't hit a
That
crit.
is
Good information,
Crit him.
Goblin.
good timing.
You're way scarier than you are tough.
you barely get through your threat before he's just flat out bawling, and he's like we're just hungry. You killed all my friends. I don't have a ruler. Nobody sent us. Just let me go. I'm sorry. Please just let me go. Just let me go.
All right.
Should I do a like a sense motive check or anything on that?
Well, if you want, go ahead. But he seems pretty scared and pretty honest right now.
Okay.
All right. I put him down. I give him a little bit of bread out of my pack. I tell him.
And slit his throat.
And
Oh, that escalated quickly.
I give him some bread. I tell him in Goblin, you stay off these roads for a year, and I will let you live. And you tell your friends to stay away from us, because it's obvious that he's just a random brigand trying to live his life. But I tell him to get the hell out of here and stay away from these roads for a year.
He looks at the bread in his hand. He chews on it a little bit. He's looking around. He half expects one of you guys to walk up and cut him down, and he can't believe his luck. And he starts backing away, and he just nods, and he's like
Is the goblin walking out of camp?
He's backing up slowly away, yeah, and he's looking around, and he's
I'm gonna throw a dart at him.
All right, go ahead and roll your hit roll. And he's sitting there, and he's he's in mid nod. He's like, "You'll never see me." And he watches the dart hits him in the neck area. Go ahead and roll the damage. I think it's D2 plus your strength if you have any bonus.
D3.
D3 plus strength, yeah.
Yeah.
You throw. Do you have a strength bonus at all?
Yeah, the one, I think.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Do I get to roll for crit on that?
No,
Nice.
I believe.
Nice.
So yeah, he slumps to the ground. He was in mid thank you to Dulgar, and he watches the blood oozes out of his wound in his neck.
Those sons of bitches ruined my shirt.
Well, I just toss the hapless goblin to the side, and I just look at Tam, and I say, Dulgar says, I have no love lost for goblins. We could have killed him later, but we could have followed him. Your tracking skills are obviously good, and so is Sargon's. We could have followed him to figure out who was sending him on to raid our party.
Tell me the
for now,
plan.
I just can't believe you wasted bread on him.
Exactly.
For now, let's finish our rest and get on our way. We've got gold pieces to attend to.
Merrick comes out of his tent finally and pokes his head out. And you notice he's got a very very ornate dagger in his hand, and he's looking around and then he's like, oh, thank goodness you were here. Money well spent, and he said, let's break camp immediately. There may be more. The orc. There's that orc stronghold, the old orc caves. It's full of goblins up in the north to the hills. It's we need to get moving, and the two guards start breaking down his tent, and he goes and climbs up on top of one of the wagons and seems to be very impatient to get moving.
For future reference, does that dagger look valuable?
It looks very valuable.
Okay.
It's bejeweled, and
that's all I need to know.
Inanimate, yes.
After about 10, the two guys they've done it a million times. Seems like they break down the camp and they've loaded up the wagons. They're ready to go in about 15 minutes.
All right.
And,
while they're breaking it down, can I check for tracks now that I can see?
Absolutely.
I want to see what else has been around this area that we may be running into.
And I'd like to do a little bit of praying again.
All right, very good.
All right, 16 on my check.
Yeah, I can read. Thanks.
Sorry.
Sargon goes out, and what you do see, you don't see any tracks of any giant beasties or anything, but you do see that those goblins, they must have circled you for they circled the entire camp several times, and at first it was just one or two, and then one left, and then came back with the rest. And so they must have had scouts that just out looking, and maybe it was the campfire or something that attracted them. So you don't know for sure, but there was only a few right away at the beginning, but then they went and they made sure they got a bunch more. So there may be a larger camp somewhere nearby. You have no idea.
See, you're going to let them all come back for us.
So, but they're done, and Merrick calls out to Sargon. He's like, "What are you doing? Get in the wagons. Let's go. Before more come back."
What do you guys think? We going? What are we doing?
We're going. He's got our money.
How long will it take us to get to the town?
Merrick, as he said earlier, he thinks that if you push it and you don't stop to eat or anything today, you'll be able to make the north gate of Endhome before sundown.
Let's do it.
So either go to town or we try and find this camp.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about if we got to deal with more goblins, it happens. But I don't want to go searching out for them. I'd rather complete the task at hand. That would be my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Dolgar's mad
But
rolling.
these fish, they're starting to smell worse.
Yeah.
So can we just get down to frickin' end home already? For
How does
goodness
somebody who hangs out with a half-orc complain about the smell?
Hey, Minx wants to finish this. Let's get going.
Minx looks at Grod, thinks it's Grod. Grod looks at Minx, thinks it's Minx.
All right, you all climb up aboard the wagons and get in your perches. The two guards, Merrick, there's 3 wagons. Each guard handles the horses. There's 2 horses for each wagon. Each guard drives one of the wagons, and the rest of you can just divvy up as you see fit. You make your way through the hills for a little while. You don't see anything. You pass by a couple of scenes of what must have been you see a broken down wagon that has been dismantled, and it's been that way for quite some time. But obviously whoever was driving it was probably attacked, and then scavengers have since removed parts of the wagon for firewood or something like that. So, and then a little bit later on, you come across as you're traveling and eating your lunch. You come across the scene of what probably was a battle at some point, but once again you don't see any bodies or anything, but you do see there's blood on the ground and things like that, and it's fairly fresh too. And so you get the impression that this Fool's Pass really is the Fool's Pass. It's you get the feeling that you probably got pretty lucky only running into that small band of goblins. After a short period of time of traveling along the Fool's Pass, you finally come across what you know as maybe you didn't know, but regardless, you go over a bridge that crosses this river. It's called Old Rock River, and the Old Rock River goes north into the Duskmoon Hills. But the interesting thing about the Old Rock River is that it is when you cross over that bridge, you finally can see what's called the Penfrey Forest, and this is the forest that is to the north of Endhome. And Penfrey Forest is well thought of as being haunted, and people talk about adventurers always going into the forest, but then they're never heard from again. And luckily, the Fool's Pass does not go into the forest, but just travels right along the outskirts of the northern tips of it. And you see tall trees, both coniferous and evergreen, in there, and it just the forest is just dense, and it's like you can only see maybe 5-6 feet, and like as soon as you get close, even though you don't believe in ghosts or anything like that, there's spirits or anything goofy like that. I mean, but you do, your hands go to your pommels of your weapons, and maybe even take them out of the loops, just in case, just be on the lookout, if you will. And but soon you travel, for a few hours, and you finally get past the stretch of road that's right next to the forest, and you get past the Fool's Pass, and you start to smell the fresh ocean air, and you can see off in the distance. You can see the Sinar Ocean, and you get close to the road that you know as being Trader's Way, and as soon as you see the road off in the distance, you're home free. I mean, it's just like you've gotten through the difficult part. I mean, if you were going to get attacked, it was going to be back there. You even see, like, off in the distance, you can actually see an armed patrol on horses and bearing the king's colors, and you're free. And so everybody just kind of like relaxes and feels a little more safe. And the rest of it is just a matter of traveling. You have the Penpree Forest off to your west. You have the ocean off to your east, and the sun shining, and life feels good. And before long, you come across a rise, and you look down. You can see the very large city of Endhome, and the tall the walls and the towers. And as you approach the northern gate, you see the sun is starting to fall, and you can see that they're in the process. The guards are in the process of lighting the fires in the towers and you can see the armed guards crossing. And you realize that yes, this is a bastion of security, and it feels very safe. But it's just like, but if you just go, and the forest is right there. It's right on the edge of the town, and you realize that just not even maybe 500 yards from the city is who knows what. This dense forest that has filled with all sorts of, well, who knows what, adventure, if you will, fortune, glory, all the wonderful things.
Hear that, Sam?
Ooh, glory, you say?
Yes, glory. So you pass through. As you approach the northern gate, you are challenged very briefly by the guards. You see Merrick, shows them something. He, shows them, looks like might be a badge or something. You don't really get a good look at it, and they wave him through immediately. And you take the wagons, and he hops off his wagon, and he motions for you to do so as well. And you notice that there is a group of people that have been waiting for him. And they must be employees of some sort, and each of them jump on top of the wagons, and they take them away. It looks they're heading to the south, probably to like the merchant quarters or his warehouse or something, and they leave. And he talks briefly to his two bodyguards, and there's a small exchange of coin pouches between those two, and they head off to the west into the city. And he turns around and looks at each of you, and he takes out a larger coin pouch. He doesn't have small coin pouches for each of you. He takes out a larger coin pouch, and he says, I can't thank you enough. If you hadn't been with me, obviously, my life would have been forfeit. When the goblins attacked, and so because of you, I was able to get here with my skin intact, and also my fish have not spoiled. I will undoubtedly have made my employer happy, and for that, of course, I owe you. So if you would like, he said, I would very much like you to join me for a late dinner at the Black Sheep Inn, where I have a room. And so to talk about the evening, and also just as my way of telling you all thank you.
Plus our fee?
Of course,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, he's got this big sack of coins in his hand. He's like, I'd rather not do business out here in the streets, if you will.
Yeah, there's people like Tam about. Don't pull that thing out.
Who is your employer, and what does he need with more than just Bish?
And he kind of rubs his chin a bit, and he said, I don't mean to be secretive, but at this juncture, it probably isn't up for me to reveal who my employer is. But I will definitely tell them of the service that you've done for me and for them. And if they wish to contact you, I will definitely be in touch with you again, or perhaps they will contact you as well.
Have we already got our money, or is he planning on paying us later?
You do not have your money. He wants you to
money.
accompany him.
We're going to go to dinner. Don't you pay attention?
I put my hand on his shoulder and I say, listen, I do appreciate a good meal. I'm a dwarf. I appreciate a great meal, but because my friends want to be able to buy their own supplies, we would really appreciate. We delivered our end of the bargain. I would really like our money right this minute. And I hold on. I kind of. I don't know if I can give an intimidation with. I kind of hold on. I grab his shoulder a little strong, and give him a look.
But and he kind of he gives you a quizzical look, and he said, "Well, that's fine. I mean, we have a contract. I would not think of skipping out on the money. I'd rather not exchange a large amount of money right here in the street. But if you'd rather not come with me to the inn, that's fine." And he walks over to like the side of the road where there's a barrel upturned, and he puts his sack of coins on, and he reaches inside, and he takes out 5 platinum pieces, and he hands them to Dulgar. He goes, 50 gold. As we platinum pieces worth 10 gold pieces. So, and he says, "There you are."
Wasn't this each?
Yeah.
Yeah, each. But he's not. He assumes it's you that just wants them.
Oh, okay. He assumes that I'm the only one that wants to get paid.
Yeah, because you're
He's
the
like,
only
and
one
he looks at you and
yapping
goes, "Will the rest of you come to eat dinner with me?"
Is there free drinks?
Dun, dun, dun.
He says the Black Sheep Inn is well known for its winery. So,
Then
yeah.
Can we do?
I will come
Can we
eat
do?
with you.
Should I do a sense motive check? Or
Yeah,
Binks, do you just
absolutely.
want to go for it?
I'm feeling pretty peckish, but Grod, you got that thing where you can intuition. If you feel like this guy might not be on the level, then hey, I'm down with that.
Go ahead and roll. That is, if you have the skill rank, that's fine. Otherwise, if it's untrained, you're just going to roll a d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
I'm skill ranked in it.
Very good.
So what do I roll?
D20 plus your skill.
Plus
your
my
skill
tools.
bonus. So.
Plus the sense motive skill.
Yeah.
1d20 plus.
Nice.
Wow, that's one heck of a bonus.
Yeah.
Let me totally not be making a secret GM roll here. Hold on. Grod, you're watching his interaction and with Dulgar, and he seems a little upset. You're having trouble understanding if he's upset because Dulgar called him out on what he was trying to do, or that he just wanted Dulgar to come with him to go eat. But you sense that he's wishing this had gone a different way.
So Minx, I will of course go with you wherever you want to go. But this guy feels like he's a little off.
I'm assuming you mutter that in a whisper.
We're speaking orc.
Not like
So
not like
what she's
right in front of
saying
him.
is Inksmay,
Yeah.
Ifway, Uye, Onte, Untway, to okay. So well Dulgar, you asked this guy at the beginning where was the place to be, and he said the Black Sheep Inn, so I'm going.
Do we know any reputation of this inn?
That is a excellent question. So there is a skill that is called area knowledge. Did anybody take that?
No.
Like, did anybody have any knowledge skills? Let's go that route.
Nature.
Nature.
Bard.
How do you know if it's
Well,
a knowledge?
Bardic knowledge is actually a very good thing. You could actually roll it because Ingve, you are you've heard stories and tales and what have you. So you can definitely make a check on that, like your Bardic knowledge.
Well, it says Bardic knowledge +1, so it's just a D20 +1.
Yeah, well, the way Bardic knowledge is, well, just roll it, make a D20 roll, and I'll look it up in further detail here in just a second. But the way Bardic knowledge is,
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
that's the Black Sheep Inn is where they feed halflings to Umber Hulks. Is it?
Yeah, I'm not going
It
there.
might have been just a story.
I
for all
am
you
really
know.
hungry and thirsty, so I'd really like to go to this inn. I'm just saying. See,
And I-
see how I roll.
I'll talk to Merrick and I'll say, Merrick, how about this? We'll you've been pretty good to me, and you gave up the money to me. How about you pay half of our group now, and we'll meet you for dinner? Because it's not like we don't want to meet you for dinner. We'd be more than happy to. And then we'll get our rest, we'll get our provisions, and we'll meet you for dinner. And you can pay the other half when you get a chance.
When you get a chance.
He's like, well, I mean that's fine. I mean, he's just, but I'd rather get there sooner than later. I'm going to head right there. And he just looks at the rest of the party and goes, does anybody else? I mean, he's like, you're not going to be able to spend the money now anyway. The merchant quarter is closed for the night. And he's kind of like, but and then it kind of dawns on him. He's like, he kind of under his breath, small city folk. Okay. He's like, look, if you're worried about the money here, and he stacks up, and he's like almost just like kind of like, whatever, just like, you can't believe this, and he stacks up the remaining six piles of 5 platinum coins each, and then he says, if you want to join me for probably what most likely would be the best food any of you country folk will ever eat on my dime, on that I will pay for. He would say dime.
I've already said I'm going. I'm going.
I want to go
He's
to
like-
there.
He's like, then come with me. It's like, you're not going to get in. The problem is that you're not going to get into the Black Sheep Inn unless you're with me. So
But he did say he wanted to meet us later, right? Is that what he said, or right this
no,
minute?
he said he wanted to go eat right now. But
Oh,
But
well
at the
then we go.
beginning, he told us this was like the place where all the hoity-toity...
I thought he was going somewhere and meeting us later.
I'll be happy to take my 5 platinum pieces and go to dinner with him.
yeah. So he leaves the money on the barrel, and he says, well, if you're coming with me here, and we'll go there. And so you were at what was called the North Gate, and you started heading south, and as you're just walking, he's just kind of like prattling on. After you've walked maybe about 100 feet or so, you see there's a very large, like another wall, like another tall city wall. It's about 8 feet tall. It's made out of stone. And he points over to there and he says, that's the government district of the town. That is where the different senators of the area meet and vote on all the things that are important to Endhome. Endhome is one of the very few independent city-states within the kingdom. And he just goes on and prattles. As you travel by, you look over and you can see it has its own gate, and the government district has its own gate and guards, and they walk around. It looks very protected, very, very impregnable. You continue walking a little bit further, and you pass by a very large inn. And so it's like, and like you immediately think, oh, that's where we're going. And he goes, and as you get close, he's like, no. He said, that's the Heaven's Gate Inn, and that's a nice inn if that's all you can get into, And so he goes, but you definitely, it's like you can, if you want to, they'll be more than happy to take your money, but you're not going to get as good of a value there as you are at the Black Sheep. And you continue walking a little further. And you pass by, and you start to hear, there's a little bit more of a bustle, if you will. And then you start walking past, and you actually then pass by what you know for sure must be the trading district, and you actually even see the wagons that you rode in on, and you can see Merrick's workers are busy unloading the barrels in the trading district. And but it's shut down. I mean, there's guards walking about and things like that. But you can see all of the areas that normally would be buying and selling. They've like literally like the whole rolled up their sidewalks, if you will, and they're closed down for the night. And he says, "I'm sure you'll want to be spending your hard-earned money there if you're looking for better equipment." And and then actually you come to a bridge, and you actually cross over the Galen River, which goes right straight through the city of Endholm. And you cross over the bridge, and you enter into a rather well-to-do area of town, and you can see there's private estates that are set up that have their own walls and everything like that. And you can, as you're crossing the bridge, you can actually see into a couple of them because they're right next to the river and they have a very posh look to them. And it's like he goes, and that's the true power of the town. And he points over to the estates that are on either side of this river. And you definitely see there's mansions basically. He's like, luckily, he said, he's like, and he goes by and he walks down this road and he goes to another area. Luckily, he said, I can get into one of these because one of these is the Black Sheep Inn. And so then he walks up, and there's a gate that he approaches, and the guards recognize him. And he said, "These are my honored guests. They will be dining with me this evening." And one of them nods, and of course, Mr. Andalay. And he walks through, and then you actually walk in, and you thought the Heaven's Gate Inn was really nice, but this one is huge. It's probably 3 times the size, and you approach. And as you enter, you're used to like your small little tavern in Fairhill. You just kind of a rough and tumble place. But this, just picture like, picture like a real hotel, like in your real life, like that kind of level of like looks. Everything is very nice. You immediately feel out of place. And everybody, is wearing nice clothes, and even you're getting a couple weird looks, especially Grodd. They see him and they're just like, actually they're like this, looking up at him, and Merrick says, obviously I'm going to have to get us a private room, and so he speaks to the maitre d' for a moment and the attendant, and so then you're led to a set of stairs that you climb up, and eventually you sit down in a rather it is a private room, has its own door and a very lavish table inside, and he sits down, and you enter, and a waiter who is an elf, actually, walks in. And if you understand Elvish, he and Merrick speak briefly in Elvish. And I don't know, does anybody understand Elvish?
Sargon.
I do.
Sargon does.
If you understand Elvish, it's nothing more. It's just pleasantries. We are honored to have you here again, Mr. Andalay. He's like, oh no, the pleasure is mine. Just very standard tug job conversation. And they get through it, and the elf does kind of look up at you and sees you all, and then in common he says, any friends of Mr. Andalay are friends of the Black Sheep Inn, and you are, of course, welcome here. It's like, and I will bring refreshments. Your standard vintage, Mr. Andalay. He's like, yes, and bring me 3 bottles of it, and of course. And so he goes,
bring him 5.
And I laugh and say that must only be for Yingwei, the 3 bottles.
So so the rest of the evening, we're just kind of gloss over a little bit. We're getting kind of late here in the evening, but he comes up and the food and the drinks start flowing, and if you have any specific questions for Merrick, by all means, please state, or if there's anything specifically that you want to ask him for or anything like that, now would be the perfect time.
Well, he clearly knows the town pretty well, so there must be people that he knows we should talk to in town. Find out what's the lowdown.
Do you have... So then... Hey, Merrick. Do you happen to know anybody else who might be looking for assistance of any kind?
Well, like I said, I was going to speak to my employer, and perhaps we'd have something as well. But this is a fairly wild area of the kingdom. I mean, if you are adventurers and you want to look for something to do, I mean, the adventure will find you in this town. I mean, there's many there are many, should we say, horrible secrets that Endome hides, and it'll only take a fair amount of time for you to stumble across one. And Minx, why don't you go ahead? Do you have any kind of a diplomacy or any kind of a account like?
I'm charming. I have bluff. I have diplomacy.
Very good. So why don't you and make a diplomacy check? And anybody else who thinks they're going to have any kind of discussion.
Will
Yeah, I
he
kind of want to.
potentially find me attractive?
I don't know. I mean, he's human, but
Oh,
I mean,
Minx.
I don't know.
Well, because
So,
I'm charming, so I get a +1 to diplomacy if someone could be sexually attracted to me.
And I have implants, so that gives me a +2.
You're an asexual.
you don't see that Merrick has any wedding rings. Let's just put it that way.
Hot to trot. I like it.
I bet he likes me.
Well, that's fine. Whatever. But I'm going to try my best. So then that's...
A D20 plus your skill ranks.
Okay. Heyo!
Hello.
All right. And he kind of maybe you're doing that very standard girl thing when you walk up and talk to somebody. Just always make sure you're touching their arm or something. Just make sure that you're. And he's like, well, he's like, I guess if you wanted to look into some of the seedier things that are going in this town.
Oh, and I do.
He's like, I would go to the government district and ask to speak to the sheriff of the town. My understanding is that there's been a recent group of bandits that have become more and more brazen. They're known as he said they're known as the Green Tree Bandits, and they've somehow managed to start a base within the Pendtree Forest. And I know that there is a sizable bounty on the head of the commander of them. It may be something bands such as you would be able to take care of. What are you doing later, Minx?
Grod.
No.
Maybe we can discuss that after. Somewhere else.
Well, I have a suite here. Have you ever seen a suite in a large inn such as this?
Please. This is minuscule compared to what I've seen, but sure, we can go back. Have some fun.
He smiles knowingly at you, and the rest of the evening progresses well. If anybody else has any questions.
We just crossed over into After Midnight BoomQuest.
Yes, After Midnight BoomQuest. Yes.
BoomQuest After Dark.
Well, it'll be like, if anything does happen between the two of them, it'll be the classic PG version where the lights just the scene just fades.
It goes black.
Yeah, and then the next morning, people are just always having a blanket around them or
The
something.
walk
The
of
next
shame.
morning, he's there searching for me and crying when he realizes I'm not there. Let's be
Yeah, probably.
Well, he thinks you're not there, but he really just didn't look down for the 3 foot tall.
Burn. Well, if I was down, he was doing just fine. He'd know I was there.
So
It is late.
Dolgar says to Merrick, he flips him a platinum piece and says, if you can find some information on the good artist Lorraine here, I'd love to meet with her and possibly pick her brain on some artistic talents.
He looks at the platinum piece and he just actually just shoves it back towards you. He's like, I don't. You saved my life. I don't need money to be able to do you a favor. I've already actually spoken to the attendant here and asked if Lorraine was within the area. I should have information for you tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man. Really good of you.
And you get the impression that he was actually kind of insulted, that you thought you had to bribe him. To do
Twice,
something.
Dan, you insulted him.
Dolgar is never going to learn.
Oh, yeah, you try to do a nice thing, throw a guy a tip, because it's so hard to. I'm a lonely dwarf
Hey,
in a
Inksman.
big city.
Inksman.
Yay.
Maybe you should find out a little bit more about what they do here.
Maybe I should probably just adjourn to my place because I can't seem to do anything right anyway.
All right. Well, if you want a room within the Black Sheep Inn, it's like 3 gold pieces for an evening. If you want,
paid for otherwise.
Yeah, Minx doesn't have to. Minx apparently does not need to pay.
No, Minx doesn't.
We've got the gold from the goblins that'll cover it.
And what would you say? Platinum is 10 gold. 10 gold for platinum.
So you can get a room for yourself here at the Black Sheep Inn. It'll cost you 3. That comes with a hot bath and free continental breakfast.
I go to the barkeep. Dolgar goes to the barkeep, throws 2 platinum on the.
First of all, Dolgar, you are not by the bar. You are in a private room.
We in a private? I'm sorry.
Yes, you're in a private room, and if you want a room, all you need to do is tell the elven attendant that is there, and he will get you a room.
Okay.
And,
well, I go to the elven attendant. I put Dolgar puts two platinum pieces in his hands and says, "Please, this is for my friends and myself for rooms for this evening, and I'd like a nice big tall pitcher of milk in my room as well." And whatever's left over, please keep for yourself.
And he looks at you and he says, "Goat's milk or cow's milk?"
Your finest cow's milk, please.
Very good. And then he looks and he said, and he whispers, "It does not appear that the lady will need a room."
Then that's more money for yourself.
You're welcome.
Very good, sir. And he leaves. And
that's what we needed. We need Minx to sleep with the innkeep so we can get rooms in GenCon.
A short period of time later, he comes back and he has keys for each of you, and he has room. And so you eat long into the night. You don't pay for anything. Those of you who want to get snookered can. The drinks flow until there's you get the very definite impression that Merrick believes that you saved his lives and he's indebted to you and he's trying to pay you back. And you also get the very strong impression that Merrick has a lot of money.
And that he really wants to bed Minx.
Well, it's like
Well.
You got excited, hey, when you almost die,
Did you see that roll? It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. So
a 24? You kidding me? There are orcs two towns away that want to bed Minx after a 24.
All right, so this seems like a perfect point to wrap up. You guys got to the town. You survived your battle, and we like those of you who haven't played a lot of Pathfinder at all, now you've got the basics of the mechanisms going on. And I think we all did pretty well. I was really impressed with the way the party worked out. So, experience points I'll give out. I don't usually like giving out flat experience points, but I think I'm going to do it for this one. I usually like having my parties level at the speed of plot, if you will. Like, right about now, yeah, you should be about 2nd level. But I think we're just going to go standard on this one. So, for the 8 goblins you killed. Let me see. Okay,
For the ones that I killed, that Dan watched me kill.
Yeah,
hey,
that I rolled
you all helped, whether or not it's so.
I slept through.
For the battle, you get 150 experience points each, but don't write that down just yet. Just for the story and propelling it and getting to Endhome, I'm going to give a story award of another 50 experience points. So just take 200 experience points and add that onto your character sheet.
Yay!
Beautiful.
Plus 50 gold.
Yeah, and plus put down the 5 platinum pieces, unless you're Dan or
Yeah, I'll put
Dolgar,
30.
who apparently it just burns a hole in his
I
pocket.
just money just burns. I just like to see the people be happy in the town.
Now
5
I-
platinum
okay.
from Merrick and 13 from the goblins, right?
That's correct. And the 13, I believe, is in
that's
party
right.
funds or whatever.
Yeah, party funds.
And all of you say hello to Lily, the cat in my house that nobody likes.
Hey, Lily,
Except
we
for
don't
Big
like
Daddy.
you either.
Okay, Lily. Wonderful.
That was great, dude. That was really good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun, and I think as we play, I mean the combats will. I think we're gonna. Unless we really need to have a grid, I don't think we're ever. I think I'm not gonna use the grid. I just because of the basic reason that I think that's gonna bog down the combats even more. Having to click on your guy, move him to a certain
I'm
place.
perfectly happy with that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Would it be
Apparently
Well, I mean, you're
serious-
pretty good about theater of the mind. You're pretty good at explaining everything and telling us what we can and can't do, and that's all you really need.
Oh, cool, man.
I have a live thing up over here, and I guess Hangouts fixed it so that you can see the people when you're screen sharing on the bottom. So looking at YouTube with the link to watch it, you see us from Hangouts, but then you see us in the Roll20.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you would need a screen share. Maybe it's more exciting if people were watching then to just see us bounce back and forth as talkers, and then just
Oh,
be like,
they get to see the
16.
roll. The roll's
It's a roll.
nice for 'em.
Yeah, because I
But
think
there's actually there is an app which you can have on screen as well in Google Hangouts, which is just a regular die instead of polyhedrals.
Well, I mean, we can go that route too, but I mean, let's. I really wanted to mess with it and try to figure things out before, and unfortunately, like I just real life and whatever. So
Well, and we could still use Roll20 to put like our initiative order. We could actually type it out on the screen.
Yep. Or
Yeah.
have maps are nice too, even if you don't use it for the combat. Just having a map around.
as soon as we can hear you. All right. Well, yeah, it's late, and I appreciate everybody staying up and having fun.
That was fun.
Thank
But,
you, sir.
That was great. Thanks for doing
That
that.
was awesome, Lance. Great job. Everybody else, great job.
We'll reconnoiter and figure out another time.
Works for me.
Sounds good.
Night, peeps.
All right, everybody.
Awesome.
Good night,
Make
all.
sure- make sure you pimp the link, get people excited about it, and then
Yep.
we'll
You know,
play.
we
hell
are
yeah.
still live, by the way.
Yeah, what?
We are still live.
I know, that's fine.
Oh.
But yeah, like, what are we gonna do? Like, we'll try to play again, like, in 2-3 weeks or so.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds
All
good
right,
to me.
everybody. Thanks a lot.
Night.
Good night.
Happy birthday, Marty.